with his body, runs over, tags the bag ahead of Grubb. 4 out, number 1. Grubb came up with a batting average of 193. Here's Buddy Bell. Bell has started to swing the bat real well the past week, beginning Monday night against Kansas City when he had 3 hits. He's only had 1 hitless ball game since then. That was Friday night here. He had 2 hits yesterday and 2 hits already today. Hitting .227. The pitch, a strike, 0-1. Bell now, in the last 6 games, has 10 hits in 23 trips. Huffman's pitch, curve missing inside for a ball, 1-1. Phil Huffman, 6'2", 180 pounds. He was born in Freeport, Texas. Now the 1-1 pitch, fastball, pop foul out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you just turned on your television and are getting a golf tournament or something other than a baseball game, wondering where the devil is the Ranger game, it's not due to go on until 3:30 Central Daylight Time because of the golf tournament commitment that many of our network stations have. So we're glad to have you with us on radio. 1-2 pitch. There's a pop-up back of first base. Mayberry going out. It's twisting into foul ground, and the ball drops into the second row of the stands. Out of play. Mayberry, Velez, and McKay all gave chase after it. None could get it. It's out of play. Phil Huffman was born on June 20th, 1958, so he will turn 21 this year. He was part of that big deal that sent Vida Blue to the Oakland A's. Sent half a team to Oakland. The pitch, check swing. The ball accidentally fouls off the bat toward the Rangers' first base dugout. 1-2. Remember that trade? Gary Alexander, Dave Haverlow, Gary Thomason, Alan Worth, John Johnson, and Phil Huffman for Vida Blue. Swing, ground ball to third. Right to the third baseman. Baylor's throw across is in time. Bell is retired. Bob Baylor, the third baseman in the second game. We never did get word about Roy Howell, but he was listed from the first game after a hard slide at second base. And he's not starting the second game either. See, Mario Guerrero also was involved in a deal with the Giants and A's last year, now with Oakland. Here's Al Oliver. He swings and pops it up. Foul ground, third base side. That's going to reach back into the seats. 0-1. I remember last year when Oakland was doing so very well in the early portion of the season, Bobby Winkle still managing the club, and they came to Texas for the first time, chatting with John Henry Johnson, the young Oakland left-hander, who'd also come to the A's from the Giants. He was a very bright prospect and had a good year in his rookie season. 1 strike pitch inside for a ball, 1-1. And Johnson said that the best prospect he felt in the whole Giants farm system, pitching-wise, was another fella who was not with the A's at that moment. His name was Phil Huffman. Oliver swings, grounds it foul down the first base line, 1-2. Well, to get Rico Carty, Charlie Finley traded away that prize prospect Huffman to the Blue Jays along with Willie Horton last August 15th. And they got Carty back through the re-entry draft. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Griffin fields it in the hole. His long throw is in plenty of time. That is retired. 3 up, 3 down. The Jays coming up. The score, Texas nothing, Toronto nothing. And now, here's to all you ball players out there who work hard in the diamond. You major leaguers and minor leaguers, and yeah, even you beer leaguers. This Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. For being on the job and working hard all day. So here's to you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through. This Bud's for you.
Yes, whether you play slow pitch, fast pitch, or big league baseball, nothing goes better with ball games than Bud. So go ahead. You've got it coming. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Arlington. For the good times in 79, enjoy Six Flags over Texas, the capital of fun for everyone. Or 10 minutes to the east, the Southwestern Historical Wax Museum, featuring more than 180 personalities from the Old West in wax. Or visit Traders Village, open every weekend. It's the Disneyland of flea markets, featuring special events year-round. May 20th, see the second annual Experimental Aircraft Show at Arlington Municipal Airport. Arlington, for your springtime good times.
Leading off the first for the Blue Jays, the shortstop, number 4.
Ed Farmer makes his second start of the season this afternoon, and he'll face Alfredo Griffin, Bob Baylor, and Otto Velez as the first 3 Blue Jays to bat here in the last of the first. Griffin had a double and a triple in that first game and figured very heavily in the Jays' victory. He takes high and outside, ball 1. Alfredo hitting .213 now, switch hitter batting left-handed. Farmer's 1-0 pitch. Fastball is low. Ball 2. Farmer is the pitcher. Ellis the catcher. Putnam at first. Blanks at second. Norman at short. Bell at third. The outfield is Grubb, Jorgensen, and Zisk from left to right. Ed Farmer making his 7th appearance overall. 5 in relief. 1 win and no losses at a 4.3 earned run average. Pitch low. Ball 3.
Sliding into
3-0. Griffin with a look at his third base coach. Gets the sign. Now the pitch. There's a strike. 3-1. Taking all the way. Bill, what did they say? Roy Howell jammed the thumb again? He missed a couple days.
The left on the left hand, and we'll have x-rays taken later today.
3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. And Farmer puts his hands in his hips. Stares into the plate umpire. He thought he had a strike.
Yeah, Roy just missed a couple of ball games, I think, with Minnesota due to some problem.
Bob Baylor.
The one where he got hit in the head. Hurt his thumb.
Yeah.
Well, I know, Bill, you always remind me. Lucky thing it hit you in the head.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it might have hurt you.
Right. Now, he'd had problems with that thumb before.
Here's Baylor now, runner at first. He takes high, ball 1. So Farmer starting off with a streak of wildness here in the first inning. Baylor hitting .264. Boston 7, Oakland 2 after 6 innings at Fenway Park this afternoon. There goes the runner. The pitch is taken. Ellis' throw to second base is not in time. Stolen base for Griffin. Well, this guy is looking better every day since we've been here. That's his 3rd steal of the season, Alfredo Griffin. Now runner in scoring position. And let's see what Bob Baylor can do about it. George Scott hit his 4th home run for the Red Sox today. Red Sox now have hit 39 home runs as a team. A lot of home run hitting in the American League this year. Now the stretch. The pitch. Ground ball to the right side. So Baylor moves him over. That's why he's batting second. That good bat control. Second baseman Blanks throws him out. Griffin down to third. Here's Otto Velez. Velez, a product of the New York Yankees farm system. He's always hit with power. But Roy Hartsfield likes to save him for the left-handers generally, but he's going against the right-hander today. Otto hitting .255. 3 homers, 8 runs batted in. The Ranger infield stays back in normal depth with 1 out, a runner at third. Pitch, curve missing high, ball 1. Yankees 4, California 3 now after 6 innings. The Angels got 3 runs in the 6th against Beatty. Tidrow came out of the bullpen to relieve him. Knapp pitching for California. Nettles has hit a home run. 1-0 pitch, curve again, very high, ball 2. Seattle at Baltimore, postponed due to rain. They'll make it up as part of a doubleheader on July 24th. Detroit defeated Milwaukee 6-2. That's the final. Morris the winner, Haas the loser. 2-0 pitch, fastball bends him back, high inside. 3-0. Rico Carty's on deck. In his last start, Farmer gave up 7 runs, 4 of them earned on 7 hits in 4 1/3 innings. And he walked 4. Here's a fly ball to right field. Zisk in on it. Still coming in, makes the catch. Griffin tags. Here comes the throw. It's going to be close. It's there. Ellis takes him out. Beautiful throw by Richie Zisk. And Griffin was dead at the plate. The umpire had to wait to make sure Ellis held onto the ball, and then he called him out. So, the Blue Jays with a good threat in the first, but Zisk and the Rangers cut it down. And after one, Rangers nothing, Toronto nothing.
Now's a good time to get that old painting arm in shape so you can give the house a new coat of Cook paint when the weather settles down. Or you should at least check your workshop to see how you're fixed for brushes, thinner, all those items that you can hardly do without during a summer of do-it-yourself jobs. And the place to get stocked up with the paint and decorating supplies you need is your Cook Paint Decorating Center. Stop by, say hello, and take a look at all the items he has on display. Just about anything you need to brighten and beautify your home. Cook Paint. See 'em soon.
Mail orders are now being accepted for all Ranger home games. The mail order allows early bird fans an opportunity to get the best possible seat location for the specific Ranger games they wish to attend. Ranger ticket prices remain the same as last year. $6 for field and mezzanine boxes, $5.50 for plaza boxes, and $5 for reserve seats. All orders should be mailed to Texas Rangers Ticket Office, Post Office Box 1111, Arlington, Texas 76010. Or call the Texas Rangers Ticket Office at 273-5100, and they'll be happy to send you a schedule and a mail order form.
Hamburger lovers, hold on to your sesame seed buns because Jack in the Box restaurants have a beefy new Jumbo Jack hamburger. There's a lot to love in the new Jumbo Jack, but at Jack in the Box restaurants, they know the secret to a really great tasting hamburger is the hamburger. So they're cooking up their new Jumbo Jack with one of the thickest, juiciest, 100% all beef patties you've ever tasted. The thick, juicy new Jumbo Jack hamburger, because the secret to a great hamburger is the hamburger. Beef up on one today at your nearest Jack in the Box restaurant.
Richie Zisk, the man who cut down Alfredo Griffin to wrap up the first inning, will lead it off for Texas here in the Ranger half of the second. Well, Richie got to make that bat start to speak now. Texas gave up some power during the winter, and the Rangers knew that they were not going to have a power-hitting ball club per se, and what power they were going to get was going to come quite a bit from Richie Zisk. Pitch to Richie, fastball high, ball one. Thus far, it has not been coming. He has only 2 home runs in 95 official trips to the plate. 12 runs batted in. 1-0 pitch, popped up. Foul ground, third base side. The catcher, Cerrone, going over near the stands, near the dugout, and it just hits the top of the dugout. That was inches away from being caught by Cerrone, but it just did hit the top of the dugout, and Zisk is still alive with a count of 1-1. Richie hitting .211. Richie has gone hitless now the last 2 games. Well, once Zisk does start hitting the ball, the Rangers should be in pretty good shape. Now the pitch. Curve over his head. 2-1. Other scores, Kansas City is leading Chicago now 10-3 after 6 innings today. Rodriguez pitching for Kansas City. 2-1 pitch popped up. This one in foul ground, first base side. Over near the Ranger on deck circle comes the catcher, and they collide. The catcher and Mayberry, Cerrone and Mayberry collide. The ball drops away, and Zisk is still alive. Well, Richie is got 9 lives, I think, this trip to the plate. Used up a couple of them now. Let's see if he can take advantage of it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Phil Huffman throws pretty hard. Not a great fastball. Curveball. Slider. 2-2 to Zisk. Now the pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Just got a piece of that high fastball. Phil Huffman. Tom Sheik, the broadcaster of the Blue Jays, says, there's our leader. Injury to Clancy. Huffman becomes the shining star in the youthful pitching staff of the Toronto Blue Jays. He's won 2. He's lost 3. He's tied for the team lead in wins. Zisk gets a high drive to deep right center field. Bossetti going back near the warning track and makes the catch as he goes on to the warning track. To the center field side of the 375-foot sign in right center. Richie is retired, 1 away, and here's John Ellis. catching the second game. Ellis has been one of the Rangers' hot hitters. He's hitting at even .300 with 2 homers and 10 runs batted in. He has a 6-game hitting streak going. Had 9 hits in the 6 games. The pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Ellis has also driven in 6 runs in the 6 games. He's hit a couple of homers in the hitting streak, one against Rich Wortham of Chicago, once against Gura of Kansas City. John is 12 for 40 overall. Now the pitch, fastball, big swing and a miss, 1-1. Wow. Stadium shook on its foundations that time. One of the big cuts we've seen in the trip. Now the 1-1 pitch, changeup over his head, 2-1. Cleveland 3, Minnesota 2 after 7.5 innings. Manji is in for Cleveland now. 2-1 delivery. Fastball outside. 3-1. In the National League, final score, Cincinnati 7, Pittsburgh 3. Lacoste a winner. He's 4-0 for the Reds. Candelaria the loser. Here's the pitch. Fastball, strike 2 call to the outside. It's 3-2 to John Ellis. Paul Blair, just acquired by Cincinnati, hit a home run today for the Reds.
Before you buy a walk-behind mower, compare it to a Snapper vacuum series. You'll find the Snapper is worth more because it does more, and its price is competitive with other quality mowers. Look at all the exclusive quality and performance features of a Snapper walk-behind mower. Vacuum power for a smoother professional cut, and the ability to bag cuttings under tough conditions. The ability to quickly and easily empty cuttings into disposable plastic bags with an optional zip kit. The ability to convert a Snapper to a mulching mower, which chews up cuttings so fine they become lawn food, or to a leaf shredder and vacuum so the Snapper catcher will hold over twice as many leaves, and the selection of 6 forward speeds without stealing power from the cutting blade, plus freewheeling for trimming in tight places. See the Snapper vacuum series today, and you'll see that any way you cut it, it's a snap with a Snapper. In Fort Worth, see Leonard's Farm and Ranch Store, 501 East Belknap, and in Irving, see Irving Schwinn Cyclery, 1500 Airport Freeway.
There's a strike on a slow curve to Putnam, 1-2. Brock becomes the 14th player in big league history to bat 10,000 times. The 1-2 pitch, fastball hit back to the box on 1 hop. Huffman throws to Mayberry. Putnam retired. The Rangers again are 1-2-3, and after 1.5, Texas nothing, Toronto nothing.
Well, I'm the kind of man who does things right. I take pride in my work and enjoy my life. And when I use cement mix, I use Saccrete, yeah. Saccrete will set a post and build a patio. I made a barbecue pit and I was ready for more. So I fixed the cracks in my driveway yesterday. I made a neat flower box, a brand new step, and I fenced off my yard with just a little help. So when I think cement mix, I think Saccrete. You just add water.
Before you buy a walk-behind mower, compare it to a Snapper vacuum series. You'll find the Snapper is worth more because it does more, and its price is competitive with other quality mowers. Look at all the exclusive quality and performance features of a Snapper walk-behind mower. Vacuum power for a smoother professional cut, and the ability to bag cuttings under tough conditions. The ability to quickly and easily empty cuttings into disposable plastic bags with an optional zip kit. The ability to convert a Snapper to a mulching mower, which chews up cuttings so fine they become lawn food, or to a leaf shredder and vacuum so the Snapper catcher will hold over twice as many leaves, and the selection of 6 forward speeds without stealing power from the cutting blade, plus freewheeling for trimming in tight places. See the Snapper vacuum series today, and you'll see that any way you cut it, it's a snap with a Snapper. In Fort Worth, see Leonard's Farm and Ranch Store, 501 East Belknap, and in Irving, see Irving Schwinn Cyclery, 1500 Airport Freeway.
Rico Carty leads it off in the second for Toronto. John Mayberry and Rick Bossetti to follow against Ed Farmer. Carty hitting .288. Farmer winds and delivers. Fastball brushes him back, ball 1. Farmer hit a couple of batters for Kansas City. He broke a bone in the right hand of Frank White, put him on the shelf for a month and a half, and hit Al Cowens in the face the other day. There's a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. And, boy, I tell you, just it hurt you to look at the pictures of Cowens. They were in the papers from the hospital. Curveball, swing and a miss, 1-2. And we send all of our best to Al Cowens, who was in a hospital in Arlington. Hopefully he'll be out there and ready to go before you know it. 1-2 pitch, swung on, fouled off to the right side. 1-2. Cowens off to a great start. White was off to a great start. Now the 1-2 pitch. Curveball low, ball 2. 2-2. Ed Farmer and Buddy Bell went to visit Cowens in the hospital the day after the incident, and Farmer apologized, told him it was unintentional, but Cowens sounded like he was a little bit upset about it. He's a foul ball off the first base side. 2-2. I'm sure he would be upset about it. That's a tough spot. You get hit in the face like that, you got to be angry at somebody. And there's only one logical guy to be angry at, and that's the man who threw it, but he did it unintentionally. But you got to hand it to Ed Farmer. He went there, and Cowens wanted to let off some steam at him, and he did. Two and two to Carty. And the pitch. Chop foul back behind the plate. Well, Farmer admitted as how he was very nervous. And start the other night was his first start in the big league since 1974. And he was wild on many occasions in that game. Sun has just broken through. The pitch, swung on, ground ball to third. Buddy Bell takes the third hop, throws across the diamond in time. Carty retired, 4-1 away. And that brings up Mayberry. Mayberry had a run batted in with an off-field double in the first game. He's now hitting .318 with 3 homers and 21 runs batted in. Game number 32 for the Texas Rangers. They'll roughly hit the 1/5 point of the season today. Have it just about 20% in the can after this one. Pitch is low to Mayberry, ball 1. Some other scores in the National League. Houston leading Chicago 3-0 after 3.5. Necro for Houston, Kruko for the Cubs. West Coast games getting started now. Here's the windup and the 1-0 pitch. Curve, a beauty. Knee high for a called strike. 1-1. Montreal at Los Angeles. Grimsley versus Sutcliffe. The Dodgers have won 6 consecutive games. The Mets at San Diego. Pitch outside. 2-1. Scott for New York. Jones for the Padres. The Mets did not score in the first. Philadelphia at San Francisco. Ruthven for the Phillies. Vida Blue for the Giants. That's a great matchup. Pair of 6-game winners. 2-1 pitch. Fastball away. 3-1. The Giants have just taken 2 in a row from the Phillies at Candlestick. I think Ruthven is unbeaten, isn't he? 6-0. Vida Blue is 6-2. Ruthven 6-0 and a 1.65 ERA. 3-1 pitch. High and outside, he walked him. One out walk to Mayberry. That brings up Bossetti. Bossetti hitting .271. He's not hit much in this series. 0 for 3 in the first game of the doubleheader. 0 for 4 yesterday. 0 for 4 on Friday. That's 0 for 11, isn't it? Bill says he's only 3 for 23 for the season against the Rangers. 1 out and 1 on here in the second. Talk about irony. Philadelphia looked like they were going to be so strong after they got Pete Rose. Pitched to Bossetti, swung on and fouled back at the plate, 0-1. And all of a sudden their pitching staff, which was really not a great staff, but a decent one, started getting chopped up. A couple of their top pitchers got injured. Christensen, among others. Now the pitch, Bossetti swings and misses, and it's 0-2. So it really looked like the Phillies are going to be hurting for pitching. They made a last-ditch effort before spring training ended. They helped themselves. They got Nino Espinosa for the Mets for Richie Hebner. 2-strike pitch, curveball, drive to center field. Jorgensen going back. He's got room and makes the catch near the warning track. Rossetti hit it well, but to the wrong spot. 2 down, Mayberry back to first. That brings up Al Woods, left-hand batter. Woods is hitting .256.
The left fielder, number 20, Al Woods.
And I tell you, Nino Espinosa had never done anything that would have made you recall Don Drysdale or Sandy Koufax while he was with the Mets. And yet Espinosa is 5-1 with a 1.25 ERA. Strike to Woods, 0-1. Ruthven is 6-0. And it's been the pitching that has really helped them because they lead the National League in pitching. There's nobody better. 1-strike pitch, high and outside for a ball, 1-1. They're hitting. It's always been good. They're in 4th place in the league in hitting. That's the Phillies. Also had the best record in the league. 2 down, runner at first. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Ground ball slowly hit first base side. Putnam comes down the line to field it. The plate umpire calls it foul. Now, Putnam was in fair ground when he fielded that ball, but it spun off, and when he reached to his left to grab it, he reached into foul ground to grab it. It's not where the man is. It's where the ball is when he touches it. So a foul ball. Plate umpire calls that one. It's the plate umpire's call, fair or foul, until the ball reaches the bag, either first or third. No score in the game. We're playing the last half of the second. The Blue Jays have a runner at first, Mayberry, who drew a walk. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Al Woods. Now Farmer's set. The pitch. Curve, ooh, just outside. 2-2. That one didn't miss by much. Speaking of pitching, the Texas Rangers have the 3rd best pitching record as a team in the American League. Only Milwaukee and Baltimore with a better team earned run average than Texas. Now the pitch. High, ball 3. 3-2, and Mayberry will be off for this pitch. And Baltimore's about the same story as Philadelphia right now, aren't they? They're hitting like the devil, and their pitching is just as good as it's ever been. Bullpen looks as strong as it's been in a few years. Here's the stretch. There goes Mayberry. The pitch is swung on, driven hard to left field in the air. Grubb back to his left and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits. A man left after 2. Rangers nothing, Toronto nothing.
Chevy's nationwide celebration is on.
There's a Chevy celebration going on across the nation. It's an all-out Chevy jubilation.
Chevy sensation.
Come look, come try.
See Chevy cars are fun.
Come trade and buy.
It's Chevy's nationwide celebration, with Chevy dealers welcoming the 1980 Chevy Citation. And as always, they have great Chevy values just waiting for you in the Chevys that have made Chevrolet #1. Chevy values including the Monte Carlo, a beautiful automobile with a look and personality all its own, yet at a Chevrolet price. See it in all the other Chevy values at your Chevy dealers, and help celebrate Chevy's nationwide celebration going on May 11th to Memorial Day.
There's a Chevy celebration going on across the nation. It's an all-out Chevy jubilation. Chevy celebration. Chevy celebration.
A reminder, if you're in Texas for business, Ranger baseball, or Six Flags Over Texas, the Roadway Inn, Arlington is your best bet. It's just across the street from Six Flags, only a few blocks from Arlington Stadium, and just 20 minutes from DFW Airport, Fort Worth, or Dallas. It's luxurious yet reasonable. Offers fine food, plus entertainment in the famous Red Apple Lounge. So call now toll-free for reservations at Roadway Inn, Arlington.
Center fielder Mike Jorgensen will start it off in the Ranger half of the 3rd. Right-hander Phil Huffman to the plate. Fastball is high, ball 1. Jorgensen hitting .283 with 2 homers, 5 doubles, and 4 RBIs. Pitch, changeup, popped up. First base side. John Mayberry coming down the line in foul ground, and he makes the catch. This time, Rick Cerrone never left the home plate area and let Mayberry have that one all to himself. Jorgensen retired. There's one away. Incidentally, when Zisk hit that pop-up in the first inning, in which Mayberry and Cerrone collided and neither one was able to catch, they did not charge an error, which one of them had the glove on it, but they chose not to give an error. One down, here's Blanks. Larvell has batted only twice for the Rangers without a hit. He takes high, ball one. Huffman has retired the first 7 batters he's faced. Blue Jay pitching dead last in the American League. Pitch swung on, hard smash by the third baseman and into left field, right through the hole. So Larvell Blanks with his first hit as a Texas Ranger. The Del Rio, Texas product. 29 years of age. 265 lifetime hitter. He's hit wherever he's played. He had a couple of real good years in Cleveland as a part-timer. 286 one year, 280 the next. And Blanks now hitting .333 as a Ranger. First hit and first base runner for Texas in this game, and here's Nelson Norman. John Mayberry will play Blanks on the bag at first. Huffman set. The pitch to Norman. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Norman had a hit in the first game and is now batting .219 with 5 runs batted in, 1 double and 1 triple. Nelson is 16 for 73. Right-hand batter. 1 strike pitch. Curveball, chopped foul. That one came back, hit the catcher in the mask. 0-2. Final score, St. Louis 7, Atlanta 1, I guess. They list 3 here, but in the line score, they list only 1. The winner, Vukovic, 3-2. They're 4-2, rather. Necro, the loser, 3-6. Obergfell had the game's only home run. 2-strike pitch. Swung on. Line drive right to the third baseman. Baylor quickly throws the ball to first. Not in time to get double up Blanks. Well, that's one of the hardest balls that Nelson Norman has ever hit with the Rangers. Almost tore the glove off the third baseman, but it was right to him. And Baylor did not hesitate. He quickly threw the ball across the diamond, but Blanks, with heads-up play, beat the throw. Norman retired, 2 down. We go to the top of the batting order for Johnny Grubb. Speaking of lifetime batting averages, Grubb is hitting .285 lifetime, so he's been a proven big league hitter. He swings and hammers one to left field for a base hit. Fielded on the hop by Al Woods, and Grubb has his first hit of the day. Blanks goes to second and holds on. That's the 12th hit for Grubb this year in 59 at-bats, so that puts him back over 200. Here's Buddy Bell. He's been the hot man with the bat.
Number 25, Buddy Bell.
Bell grounded out to the third baseman in this game after getting 2 hits in the first. Hitting at .225. Basketball final. Washington defeated San Antonio 107-103. And that series still alive. 3-2 for San Antonio. Pitch to Bell. Changeup. Misses inside. Ball 1. Blanks at second. Grubb at first. The stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Low. Ball 2. Al Oliver on deck. He would be next. 2 down, 2 on. They were in the third. Kansas City 12, Chicago 3 now after 7. The pitch, fastball. There's a strike. 2-1. Now Huffman on top. The pitch. Changeup grounded foul just outside of third. 2-2. Good to see Buddy Bell hitting. He's a .274 lifetime hitter. Hit .282 last year, .292 the year before. The thing about Bell is even when he wasn't hitting for the Rangers this year, he was still helping the club. There's a good glove at third, and he was a tough man in a clutch situation. The pitch is low, and the count is 3-2, and they'll both be running. Blanks from second, Grubb from first, and now Bell can hit a tweener, probably get them both home. The stretch. There they go, the pitch. Low, ball 4, and they're loaded. And here comes Al Oliver. So Huffman will face his first big test of the ball game. Oliver hitting .331, 3 homers, 21 runs batted in. He is 9 for his last 22. Bases loaded, 2 down from the windup. Huffman's pitch, swung on, chop foul, first base side, 0-1. West Coast, the Dodgers got 4 runs in the first to lead Montreal 4-0. Yankees now lead California 7-3 after 7. New York added 3 in the 7th inning. Oliver apparently hit that foul ball down off his foot, down off the top of his foot near the ankle. And trainer Bill Ziegler out to have a look at him. Rangers have already lost one of their best hitters to a similar fate. Oscar Gamble pounded one down off his left foot in Kansas City, and they found out a few days later that he'd broken the foot, broken a bone in his left foot. Well, Oliver now walks around, tries to shake it off. Ziegler goes back to the dugout, as does manager Pat Corrales, who'd also come out. 0-1 to Oliver, bases loaded here in the third. Hey, a lot of people who were here for that first game have gone home to watch the hockey game here in Canada. All right, Oliver stands in. Huffman's wind up and pitch. Low and a curveball. 1-1. Oliver shakes that right foot. Now stands in. Huffman's wind up. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball is drilled foul into the stands on the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blanks at third. Grubb at second. Bell at first. 0-0 score. The Rangers with a chance to score some here. But only 1 shot at it with 2 down. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Huffman's pitch. Swung on, a chopper over the mound toward short. Picked up by Griffin. His throw to first in time. And Oliver was limping down the line to first there. He appears to be hurting. 2 hits, a walk, and 3 left on. After 2.5, Rangers nothing, Blue Jays nothing.
For the best cut in town, bring the whole gang down to the Trail Dust.
Come to the Trail Dust Steakhouse for a big 24-ounce delicious Cowboy Porterhouse T-bone.
And country beans.
Broiled over mesquite wood for flavor you can't get home on the range.
Don't forget the beans.
Then swing your love to lively country music.
Love those beans.
And favorites from the 50s at the Trail Dust. Do it tonight.
You forgot the beans.
Forgot to what?
Trail Dust Steakhouse for the best cut in town.
Devon's at Walnut Hill and the original 10 miles east of Denton on Highway 380.
Give me a smile with everything on it, and I'll pass it on.
Come on and give me a Coke when you smile, and I promise to pass it along. I'm gonna pass it along. The world needs a lift when it's tired and thirsty. Coke and a smile is how it should be. Coke that's life. Coca-Cola
Mail orders are now being accepted for all Ranger home games. The mail order allows early bird fans an opportunity to get the best possible seat location for the specific Ranger games they wish to attend. Ranger ticket prices remain the same as last year. $6 for field and mezzanine boxes, $5.50 for plaza boxes, and $5 for reserved seats. All orders should be mailed to Texas Rangers Ticket Office, Post Office Box 1111, Arlington, Texas 76010. Or call the Texas Rangers Ticket Office at 273-5100, and they'll be happy to send you a schedule and a mail order form.
The Toronto half of the third inning. Dave McKay leads off, the second baseman, switch hitter, hitting from the left side against the right-hander. And Ed Farmer delivers a fastball right through for a strike, 0-1. Scoreboard giving updates in the Stanley Cup game. In the first period, it's the New York Rangers 2 and the Montreal Canadiens nothing. Pitch low for a ball, 1-1. Farmer didn't like the call. Steve Vickers scored in a power play for the Rangers, and then Greshner scored. 2-0 Rangers over Canadiens. An interesting matchup over there. Has captured the imagination of the Canadian hockey fan. High and outside, ball 2, 2-1. Canadiens are the perennial champions of the league. They're like the Yankees are to baseball. They've won more championships than anybody else. The New York Rangers have not won a championship since 1940. 2-1 pitch. Fastball hit into right center field for a base hit. Mike Jorgensen over to cut it off, and Dave McKay has a single. McKay was hitting .206 in that at-bat. First hit for Toronto, and that brings up Rick Cerrone, the number 9 man in the batting order, the catcher. Cerrone batting for the first time in the doubleheader. He got a rest in the first game. He's hitting .228 with 2 homers, 13 runs batted in. McKay with his lead at first. The stretch and the pitch. Cerrone swings and fouls it back to the screen. 0-1. Buddy Bell came creeping down the line from third, just in case Cerrone tried to bunt the runner along, but he gave no indication of bunting there. Now Farmer turns and makes a lob throw to first. McKay back in easily. Now Farmer into a stretch. Again he throws to first. Boston defeated Oakland 8-2. Rainey the winner, 2-2. He threw a 3-hitter at the A's. Norris the loser, 3-2. Murphy a homer for Oakland. Scott and Hobson had homers for Boston. Red Sox have now hit 40 homers this year. Now Cerrone turns the bunt. The pitch is in the dirt and skips on by Ellis back to the screen. So Cerrone simply turned the bunt. He didn't bunt it, but the runner is in scoring position anyway. That'll be scored, a wild pitch. Yankees 7, California 3 after 7.5, and Reggie Jackson drove home another run in that game. And Reggie now has had an RBI in 10 consecutive games. The Major League record for that sort of thing is 12 consecutive games with at least one RBI. Let's see if Cerrone tries to get the runner to third with nobody out. The pitch, he takes low, ball 2, 2-1. Now Farmer ready, delivers. Curve high, 3-1. Top of the order coming up. Alfredo Griffin is on deck. First game was played in 1 hour and 59 minutes. Yesterday, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Friday, 1 hour 55. Pitch is low, ball 4. Cerrone goes down to first. Third walk by Farmer. And he's got a few problems here in the third inning. 2 on and nobody out. The batter is Griffin, and Pat Corrales comes out of the dugout. He's going to have a conference of the mound with Farmer, Ellis, and Bell. It is a very good bet that Griffin is going to bunt right here. Very obvious situation with nobody out. Baylor on deck. But it is tough to execute, and even doubly so on the artificial turf. You have to really lay down a beautiful bunt, because they've got that force out at the lead base, third base. So the Rangers discuss what they might do defensively, and Buddy Bell now goes back to his position, and he flashes the signs to the other infielders to alert them as to what's up, whether or not the Rangers will put a play on. McKay in second, Cerrone at first, nobody out. Putnam shallow at first, Bell at third. Here's the pitch, and it's a foul ball. Boy, they had him confused. Griffin was really confused. The Rangers made a bluff as though they were going to put a play on. Norman bluffed as though he was going to race down to third to cover the bag with Bell charging. A lot of managers then will tell a batter, if they do that, then shorten up and swing away at the ball, chop it through. And Griffin, who had squared the bunt, trying to chop it, and he fouled it back, even though the Rangers really didn't have the play on. Now he turns the bunt, pushes it nicely, first base side. Putnam picks it up, misses the tag, throws to first, and just in time. Putnam tried to tag him going by, missed him, and then threw the blanks covering, and Griffin got the runners over. Nicely done. Sacrifice bunt from the first baseman to the second baseman, 3-4. So now 2 runners in scoring position for the Blue Jays with only 1 man down. McKay at third, Cerrone at second, and here's Bob Baylor. He grounded to second his first time. Farmer will work from the stretch. The pitch, curve high, ball 1. Baylor hitting .262. He drove in a run in the first game. 1-0 pitch, fastball, line drive right back to the middle and knocked Farmer's hat off. McKay scores. Cerrone goes to third and holds on. They throw the ball into the infield. It's cut off by Putnam. He throws to second, and Baylor is out. Baylor is arguing with Darrell Cousins, the second base umpire. And here comes Roy Hartsfield, the Toronto manager, running out of the dugout. He's going to get into the argument. 1 run scored. McKay. Cerrone held on at third, and Mike Jorgensen threw the ball in toward the plate. It was cut off at the mound by Putnam, and then Putnam made a throw to second where Baylor, who never stopped, was heading, and the tag was applied, and the umpire called him out. Close play there, and Hartsfield is still out there arguing. 1 run does score, though. The Blue Jays do lead it 1-0. The putout goes from 8 to 3 to 4. Blanks putting the tag on. Center field to first base to second baseman for the out. Well, Hartsfield finally gives up, and he heads back to the dugout. 2 down. Here comes Otto Velez. So the Rangers get a break. Getting Baylor, and here's Velez. He takes a curve, a beauty for a strike, 0-1. Rangers play this big right-hand power hitter to pull. 2 down, Cerrone the runner at third. Farmer stays from the stretch. He's ready, the pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2, another curveball. Velez slide to right his first time, and Richie Zisk caught the ball and then doubled up Alfredo Griffin trying to score from third. 2 strikes and nothing. Farmer sent, delivers. Curveball. He struck him out swinging. Got him on 3 pitches. So Farmer gets out of bad trouble with minimal damage. And after 3 full, it's Toronto 1, Texas nothing.
You weave people, fabrics, and ideas into the fashions the world is wearing season after season. It's your business. It's big business. And if you don't deliver the goods on time, nothing else counts. We understand. So at First National Bank in Dallas, when we do business with any business, we give you just what you expect from yourself. At First in Dallas, we give you results. Results. The real measure of a bank.
It's summertime, fun lovers. Time to strip on down to the pink. Might even want to jump in the drink. Drive up to the mountains, down to the ocean. Don't you forget that suntan lotion. Summer's a blast, I know you'll agree. Put ice in that glass and sit by a tree. Yeah, and put shades on your face to keep out the rays. And at the end of those balmy summertime days, throw coals on the fire to give you some heat. Then get out the barbecue sauce and meat. How about ice cream? Sounds like heaven. Well, it's at your participating 7-Eleven. They got ice and hot dogs and barbecued beans and ice-cold Slurpees and magazines. Frisbees, charcoal and suntan oil, napkins, bread, and aluminum foil. So when that sun shines down from heaven, oh, you get it all at 7-Eleven. Just stop on by any participating 7-Eleven or Metroplex Bowling Center and pick up your free pass to bowl 5 games for the Muscular Dystrophy Bowl-a-thon.
Texas Rangers having to play catch-up again. They lost the first game today 3-1 and are trailing now 1-0 after 3 innings. And Texas has absolutely shown no offense today. 1 run in 12 innings against Toronto. Got 3 runs yesterday, 3 on Friday. So the Rangers have not been too impressive with the bats in this series. The pitch to Zisk. Fastball low, ball 1. Texas He's had opportunities in this doubleheader to score. 2 or 3 opportunities in the first game, golden opportunities that they didn't cash in on. Zisk takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. But you flied to right his first time, pretty deep. A 1-1 pitch. Curve, strike 2. Rangers had the bases loaded in the 3rd inning of this game with 2 down, but couldn't score. The pitch. Curve. Oh, just low. 2-2. Well, Minnesota finally lost 1. The Cleveland Indians 3. The Minnesota Twins 2. Garland the winner, 1-4. Goltz the loser. Victor Cruz, the former Blue Jay, got the save. 2-2 pitch. Low ball 3. 3-2. Interesting what Paul Hagen said there between games. Twins were 21-3 or thereabouts against teams other than California. 3-2 pitch. There's a drive to pretty deep right field. Back goes Velez. Has a beat on it near the warning track and makes the catch. There's one away. Here's John Ellis now. They had 10,172 in Minnesota today. Gary Alexander had the game-winning RBI for Cleveland. Well, you look at the clubs that have been contenders. Ellis swings, hits one pretty deep to left field, down the line. Playable for Woods near the foul line. He's got it. 2 down. And that brings up Putnam. 1-0 Toronto as we play the top of the 4th. Putnam hit a comebacker his first time. He's 0 for 1. See some of the streaks that some of these clubs have going against teams like Seattle and Toronto. Particularly when they play them on their home ground. Yankees had something like 12 straight wins over Seattle at home. There's a strike to Putnam. Baltimore had a streak where they had won 11 straight games at Oakland the last couple of years. It was broken a while back. 1 strike pitch inside for a ball, 1-1. If you're going to be a contender, you're going to be at the top. These are the ball clubs you have to beat. And the way it's always been, I guess the way it always will be. Pitch high for a ball, 2-1. Huffman delivers, swung on, line to the first baseman Mayberry, knocks it down, the ball bounces to his right, he goes over, gets it, throws to Huffman, covering just in time for the force out on Putnam, and the Rangers are gone 1-2-3. After 3.5, Toronto 1, Texas nothing. And now here's a special salute to our good friends along the radio network, who bring you the color and excitement of Ranger baseball. To all our Ranger affiliate stations, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. For being on the job and working hard all day. So here's to you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through. This Bud's for you.
Yes, from Little Rock, Arkansas to Lubbock, Texas. All across the great Southwest, you bring our Ranger fans the best of big league baseball. So here's to you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do,
this Bud's for you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
The Rangers' 7th annual Farm and Ranch Night will be Friday, May 25th, when the Rangers play the Seattle Mariners in a doubleheader at 5:35 p.m. Co-sponsored by Delta Airlines and Texas Agricultural Products, Farm and Ranch Night is a salute to Texas' famed agricultural industry. There'll be many special prizes for lucky fans, including a Delta Dream Vacation for 2 to Reno and Lake Tahoe. And between games of the doubleheader, players from both teams will compete in such events as hog calling, cow milking, and egg tossing. That's Farm and Ranch Night, Friday, May 25th.
The power's up for the Blue Jays in the 4th. Rico Carty, John Mayberry to start it off. Farmers pitch to Carty, fastball low, ball 1. Rico grounded out to third his first time. Posetti, the third man due up here. 1-0 Blue Jays. Pitch, curveball, popped up. Back of the plate, John Ellis coming back toward the stands, and it's over the screen into the first row. A ball and a strike. Rico Carty. Spent a great deal of his career with the Braves organization. Had some great years and some great down years there, too. Takes low for a ball, 2-1. His down years had more to do with physical ailments than with lack of hitting. He's almost always hit. That is until he came to the American League. He had some problems when he first came to the league with Texas and Oakland. Went to Cleveland and started hitting again. 2-1 pitch hit deep to left field. Grubb is back to the warning track, to the wall, leaps up and makes the catch as he crashes into the fence. Fine running catch by Johnny Grubb. Carty hit that one real well, a low liner, and Grubb went back, reached up, backhanded the ball, and smashed into the fence. One away, and here's Mayberry. Yeah, nothing wrong with Ranger pitching this series that a few runs wouldn't help. Ranger bats are just dead. Unbelievable. Here's Mayberry now. He takes high, strike called, 0-1. The infield has a shift on for him. Only one man on the left side, Buddy Bell. Norman has moved over to play on the right side with Blanks and Putnam. Mayberry hitting .318. He drew a walk his only at bat today in this game. Now the windup, the one strike pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Changed speeds on it, didn't get it. You'd think the Rangers' bats that had been ailing for most of the season anyway, if they were going to get well, they'd get well against the team with the worst pitching in the entire league. High and outside for a ball, 1-2. Toronto with a team earned run average of better than .570 when the Rangers got here. That's the earned runs. Pitch, low for a ball, 2-2. And yet, if anything, it's been the other way around. Toronto pitching has gotten well against the Rangers' lack of hitting. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on. There's a high drive to deep right center, but Jorgensen appears to have a beat on it. Right up in front of the wall. He makes the catch in right center, near the 375 sign. So both Carty and Mayberry measure out Ed Farmer, but both failed to get one out of the ballpark. 2 down, and here's Rick Bossetti. Bossetti fly to center is only at bat. 0 for 12 in the series now, and 3 for 24 against the Rangers. Farmer delivers, curve high, ball 1. Two down, bases empty, last of the 4th. Farmer's pitch, a strike, 1-1. Every game of this series has been decided by a 3-1 score. The Rangers won the first 2 games 3-1. Toronto won the first half of the doubleheader 3-1. Pitch grounded foul into the Toronto dugout, third base side. A ball and 2 strikes. And here in the 4th game of the series, Toronto is leading 1-0. And the pitch, curve high, 2-2. After this doubleheader, the Rangers will go back to the hotel in downtown Toronto, as their flight is not scheduled to leave until 11:30 tonight. That's Toronto time. So I'll have a few hours to kill at the hotel. The pitch, curve, popped up. Foul ground toward the Blue Jays on-deck circle. John Ellis races over, can't get there. The ball hits up at the base of the wall in front of the stands. 2-2. So Bill and Bert and I don't know what we'll do. Just sit around and tell old war stories. Ask Birdsong to tell us what it was like back in the early part of the... Yeah. Bird said he can tell us about the Civil War. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the right side. 2-2. Bill can tell us about what it was like growing up in East Texas. Lord, already checked out of our room, so we'll just all be lobby sitting, checking out the restaurants and whatnot. Here's the pitch. Fastball bends him back out of the way. High and tight. It's 3-2. Wind up the payoff pitch. Fastball. He struck him out swinging. 1-2-3 in the fourth. And after 4-4, Toronto 1, the Rangers nothing.
Hi, welcome to Royal Optical.
Is Bubba in?
Bubba?
Bubba Marks. I heard about him on TV.
Sir, he grinds the lenses at our lab.
Did he make that pair of glasses over there?
Not exactly. You see, Bubba and lots of other people work on them, and then they're checked 4 times.
They don't trust Bubba?
Well, we feel the quality's better when we double-check the checkers.
Oh, let me try that pair. Hey, looking good. You tell Bubba that Billy Bob says hey.
When you're looking good, Billy Bob, we're looking good. Royal Optical. Offices throughout the Southwest.
When it comes to car and homeowners insurance, State Farm offers the best value in Texas. State Farm car insurance rates for most drivers are 15% less than the rates set by the state. And State Farm homeowners rates average 25% less than the standard homeowners rates in all Metroplex areas. For all the details, call the State Farm agent listed nearest you in the Yellow Pages.
You're in for a big shock during AC Ducko's big Ducko shock absorber sale. It means super values on Ducko regular shocks and Ducko heavy-duty shocks, both built bigger than standard 1-inch shocks. So, hurry on into a participating outlet in your neighborhood where you see the big Ducko shock sale poster. Sale lasts until May 31st, 1979, or till supplies run out.
Roper's Auto Parts, 2401 Washington Avenue in Greenville. Phone area code 214-455-7240.
Center fielder, number 35, Mike Jorgensen. Mike Jorgensen in center field in this second ball game will lead it off here for the Rangers. And right-hander Phil Huffman comes to him, low, ball 1. Jorgensen has fouled out to the first baseman. His only trip in this ball game. He's 6 for 11 against Toronto. He has really hit well against this team. Swings, bounces one to Mayberry, and he comes up with it cleanly. Runs over, steps on the bag, and there's one gone here in the 5th. 1-0 Toronto leading on a run they picked up in the 3rd inning. John down at first base had several balls come up and bounce off the chest, but he's so big that he can keep it in front of him. And so far, been fortunate enough to recover in time to get the man out with the pitcher covering. Here's Larvell blank. He had the first hit the Rangers got off Huffman in the 3rd inning. So Larvell getting his first hit as a Ranger. 1 for 1 in this contest. Huffman ready, and here's the pitch. Strike at the letters. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Texas. 1-2-0 for Toronto. Blue Jays winning that first ball game. Here's the pitch, overhand delivery, missing high. Count of 1-1. Final in that first game. Would you believe 3-1? That's what the Rangers have won the 2 other games by, and they lose this one 3-1. There's the ball. Fox to the left side, reaching for it as Baylor comes up, sets, throws, and gets him. Pretty good fielding play by an outfielder playing at third base. Hit a range far to his left, came up with the ball, and took the time and shot a strike to Mayberry for the second out. So they're 2 gone. Here's Nelson Norman. He lined hard to Baylor in the 3rd inning. Nelly hitting at .216, right-handed batter. A strike to him. He now has 2 hits and 14 at-bats against Toronto. Pitch missing up high, and the count is 1-1. He's not had a lot of luck against them. First ball game, another fast one here. Only an hour and 59 minutes. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Overhand breaking pitch. Missing outside, the count is 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Norman has not picked up a home run this year. He has 5 runs batted in. Rangers move over to Minnesota. They were beaten this afternoon. Foul ball shot out of play off to the right. So the Rangers could gain a half a game. On the Twins, they're 22-9 now with their loss this afternoon, 3-2 to Cleveland. Kansas City won. That means that there's a delivery low and away, and the count is full, 3-2. are now 5 games out. Here's the pitch. There's a smash to left center field. Base hit. That one gets through, and it's going to. Bassetti goes over to cut it off, and now misses the ball, and it rolls by him. And Norman steams into second, standing. And they gave him a double all the way. Been hard to make a play on Norman anyway. So that's the Rangers' third hit off Phil Huffman. They got the tie run in scoring position. At second base, Nelson Norman. Bassetti raced over and got his glove on the ball, trickled on by, and Norman had no problem getting into second base. Third hit, 2-base hit for Nelson Norman.
The left fielder, number 6, John Grubb.
Norman's second double of the year, and here's Johnny Grubb, who had a single in the third inning. At that particular time, he chased blanks over to third, but the Rangers could not score. All right, he's up there with a chance now to do something about tying the ball game up. Hitting at 203. Pitch comes down to Grubb, swinging, missing, strike one. Thinking delivery, and now we got it officially that is a double. Always a possibility that they could call an error, but I don't think he could have made the play anyway. Delivery just low, and the count is 1-1. John Grubb up there with Norman on at second. Rangers trailing by a run here in their half of the fifth. Buddy Bell would be next if John can get aboard. Here's the pitch. Overhand smash to the second baseman. Scooped up nicely. Short hop by McKay, and he throws him out. Well, that was a good play as McKay short hopped that one and tosses out Grubb to retire the side. The Rangers have a hit, leave a runner, and at the end of 4.5, our score, Toronto 1, Texas nothing.
Chevy's nationwide celebration is on.
There's a Chevy celebration going on across the nation. It's an all-out Chevy jubilation.
Chevy's new citation.
Come look, come try.
See Chevy cars and trucks.
Come trade and buy.
It's Chevy's nationwide celebration, America, with Chevy dealers celebrating the addition of the 1980 Chevy Citation to Chevy's line of new generation cars. And as always, they have Chevy values like Caprice and Impala, the new Chevrolet, America's favorite car. In a sedan, coupe, or wagon, it's a beautiful, thoroughly contemporary car, offering full-size comfort and style. You're invited to the celebration to see the new Chevrolet and all the other Chevy values. Come help celebrate Chevy's nationwide celebration May 11th to Memorial Day.
There's a Chevy celebration going on across the nation. It's an all-out Chevy jubilation. Chevy celebration. Chevy celebration.
A long, tough winter is not only hard on the exterior of your house, but the inside takes a beating too. So give your walls and ceilings a fresh new facelift and see how much it improves everybody's outlook. At your Cook Paint Decorating Center, you'll find all the paints and painting tools you need to do a great job. Expert advice if you need it. And a fine assortment of how to do it booklets, color samples, just about everything we can think of to help you do a job you'll really be proud of. Cook Paint. Quality paints and finishes for home and industry.
Leading off the pitch for the Blue Jays, the left fielder, number 20, Al Wood.
Left fielder Al Wood starts it off for Toronto here in their half of the fifth. Bottom third of the order, Woods, McKay, and Cerrone, and they have been the guys that have scored the game's only run. McKay coming home. There's a swinging strike. Woods hitting at 253. He's lined to left. Guy's had only one hit and 17 at-bats against Texas pitching. Ed Farmer out trying to pick up his second win of the year. Delivery over but low. Count of 1-1. They play this left-handed swinger from, well, just about straight down the middle. Second baseman and shortstop very deep. There's a smash over the glove of Putnam at first, down the right field side. Zisk over, cut it off and deliver it back to the infield, and Al Wood opens the fifth inning with a solid single to right field. That's their third hit. That brings on Dave McKay, whose single later scored as Farmer had the misfortune of wild pitching. Then they got a sacrifice to get him over to third base, and he scored on Baylor's single to center. He's looking over the situation assigned to him by third base coach Harry Warner. One on as Farmer readies himself. Here's the pitch, bunts it out in front of the plate. Farmer, the pitcher, will make the play, grabs it and throws to Pat Putnam covering. The sacrifice is good. 1-3 on the sacrifice, and that moves Wood over to second base. And with one out, here's catcher Rick Cerrone. He's walked his only turn. Cerrone hitting at 228. Got some action in the bullpen. Doc Ellis throwing. I guess that's perhaps for his next start. He's supposed to work on Tuesday against Minnesota. Tomorrow night, Jenkins goes against Roger Erickson. First game against the Twins this year. Breaking ball low and away. 1 on, 1 out. A man in scoring position, Al Woods. Down at second, he has pretty good speed. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball away, and the count is 2-0 on Rick Cerrone. Top of the order, Griffin is on deck. Sun shining brightly down on the field right now. There's still a considerable amount of clouds around, but it had completely become cloudy, but then now we have some breaks in the clouds and the sun penetrating. All right, here's the pitch. Up high, ball 3, 3-0. 1-0. The Jays leading the Rangers in the 5th inning, and Toronto has a threat going with 1 out. 3-0 the count on the 9th man in the order, Rick Cerrone, the catcher, right-handed batter, and here's the pitch. He pumps that one right through, 3-1. Cerrone taking all the way. Cerrone doing practically all of the catching. Davis worked most of the first game, however. Curveball, he missed. Ball 4. And that puts the guy on. At first base, Rick Cerrone hands on up. That's the 4th walk. Given up by right-hander Ed Farmer. And we go to the top of the order. Now the Rangers will shallow up a little bit in the infield and hope for the double play possibility. Alfredo Griffin, the shortstop, comes on. He's been on a walk, swiped the base, and the second time he was up, laid down a sacrifice bunt. So he's still hadn't been at bat officially in this second ball game. Got a double and a triple in the first game. Swings, sends a foul ball out of play up to the left side. Strike 1. He's hit awfully well against Texas, 9 out of 22, and he's packing only a .213 average overall. No homers and 3 runs batted in. He almost got that first home run when he hit the triple high off of the wall and right. Pitch, breaking pitch high and away, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Griffin doubled in the 6th, tripled in the 8th, and scored both times. Toronto won the game 3-1. Each club now with 3 hits. Blue Jays with 2 men aboard, only 1 out. Woods at second. Cerrone is on at first base. Outfield shallows up a little bit for Griffin. Here's the pitch. Hacks it foul up the first base side, and Jackie Moore, coach there, picks that one up and tosses it back in. John Ellis flips it back out to Ed Farmer. The count of ball and 2 strikes on Griffin. Bob Baylor, playing at third base in this second game, would be next. Now the umpire at second wanted to see the ball. I guess perhaps Griffin asked that he do so. Looks it over and tosses it out. Well, we get Jim Kern up throwing in the bullpen now. So we might see him come on. 1-2 is the count on Griffin. Farmer works, swung on and missed. He struck him out. Well, he came at him with hard stuff that time and struck him out. 3rd strikeout registered by Farmer. Now there are 2 men out, and third baseman Bob Baylor, who has driven in the game's only run, 1 out of 2, had an RBI in the first game. Hitting at .268 with 12 runs batted in. Pitch up and away, and the count is 1 ball, no strike. Otto Velez is on deck. 2 men aboard, 2 out. And Farmer trying to keep it close. Blue Jays by a run. Here's the pitch. Nubber foul to the left and behind home plate, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the 5th inning. Blue Jays batting. Rangers open a 3-game stand in Minnesota tomorrow night. Fergie Jenkins will go against Roger Erickson. Doc Ellis on Tuesday night. Pete Redfern, the opposition. Farmer ready. Here's the delivery. Ooh, he almost got him as he leaned the wrong way and then had to pull back quickly to avoid being struck. And the count is 2-1. Then on Wednesday, John Matlock goes up against Paul Hartzell for Minnesota. All right, 2-1 on Bob Baylor. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a good breaking ball, and the count is 2-2. Rangers then will be off on Thursday. That'll be travel day. They head on over to the West Coast, meet Seattle for the first time. Houston has shut out Chicago 3-0 this afternoon. All right, Farmer readies, and the pitch. Comebacker hit to the mound, grabbed by Farmer, turns, throws, and gets him. That'll do it on a comebacker to the hill. So 1-3 for the putout. Nothing doing for Toronto. They leave 2 men on. And after 5, the score still the Blue Jays 1, the Rangers nothing.
For less than $1 a day, you can place an early bird classified ad in the Dallas Morning News. 2 lines for 10 days, only $8. That's less than $1 a day and the lowest price in town. But that's not all. The Dallas Morning News gets there first, works all day, reaches more people, and you can even cover 2 big selling weekends. So call 745-8123 and place your early bird classified ad in the Dallas Morning News. The only paper you need for classified results.
Can you please remember those Good Guys corn chips and Guys cheese sticks and those Good Guys nuts, and don't forget the Guys potato chips.
No, you're gonna miss them if you do. Potatoes, and they're very real, they're also very real. Can you please remember Guys potato chips? Remember that they're very, very crunchy.
Real potato chips from real potatoes.
No, don't forget the Guys potato chips.
Shelley's Vehicle Supply Company carries a battery that's designed to take care of itself. It's called the Delco Freedom Battery. When you buy a Delco Freedom Battery from Shelley's Vehicle Supply Company, freedom is exactly what you get. Freedom from maintenance. And it's packed with plenty of sealed-in starting kick and cranking power for fast, reliable starts. Come in and check out the powerful maintenance-free Delco Freedom Battery at Shelley's Vehicle Supply, 623 East Jefferson in Oak Cliff, for over 40 years.
Hitting up the sixth for the Rangers, the third baseman, number 25, Buddy Bell.
Bell, nothing out of 1 in this game, had a couple of hits in the first encounter. He's nothing out of 1, has been on once on a walked in the 3rd inning. Right-handed batting third baseman stands in, and here's the pitch swung on a grounder right to the shortstop. Griffin picks up, throws, and gets him. So 1 up, 1 pitch. 1 man has been retired. Al Oliver, 2 occasions in this second game, has grounded to the shortstop. Each time has been tossed out. Well, the fans here in Toronto, they are unusual type because certain times of the day pass and they just get up and go home. Here's the pitch to Oliver outside, ball 1. A large number departed right after that inning, and they have done so every time we've been in this place. Delivery is low and it's 2-0. Zisk is on deck. But it's kind of strange. It doesn't make any difference what may be happening in the ball game. I guess they've got a certain time they want to go home. Here's a high pop-up in the infield. The pitcher calling. Second baseman McKay is the man who gets the call, and he makes the catch for the out. So Oliver has skied to the second baseman. 2 men are gone here in the inning. That leaves it up to Richie Zisk to keep it going. Zisk nothing out of 2. A fly ball to center and a fly ball to right. Nothing for 2, and he was 0 for 3 in the first game. Hitting at .206. 2 homers, 12 runs batted in. 2 men quickly put down by Huffman. Right-hander throws very high, ball 1. They pull this to the left side all the way around. Huffman all set. Picks and throws. Breaking ball over. Strike call, and it's 1-1. In the 6th inning, Rangers trailing 1-0, each team with 3 base hits. Ellis would be next. Pitch, smash to the 3rd. 1 up, Baylor field, throws. Mayberry stretches, gets it for the out. So, 3rd to 1st, and that'll do it here in the 6th. And after 5.5 innings to play, the score, Texas nothing, and Toronto 1.
And now, here's a special salute to our good friends along the radio network.
For the Blue Jays, the right fielder, number 19, Otto Velez.
Otto Velez steps in to start things for the Blue Jays here in the last half of inning number 6. Pitch to him as a called strike. Hit in the fly ball into a double play in the first inning and was down swinging in the third. Velez has not had a hit against the Rangers in 6 at-bats. Pitch, curveball, missing low inside. Count of 1-1. Now the game here that's going by at a good clip. They pull Velez quite sharply off to the left side in the infield. Breaking ball hangs inside, and the count is 2-1. Second baseman Larvell blanks well over towards second. They have their third, fourth, and fifth batters here in the 6th inning. Next delivery, curveball that is popped foul by third base. And the count is leveled at 2-2. 3 homers and 8 runs batted in. That absolutely no success hardly at all. Well, none, as a matter of fact, against the Ranger pitching core all season. Farmer works him and he fouls this one off to the right side. And that one right up to the top of the stands off to the right. Count holds at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rico Carty will be next. The only run scored in the 3rd inning. They got a couple of hits and a walk. Turned it into a run. Baylor trying to stretch his single to a double, or they might have gotten more. There's a ball high and inside, and it's a full count, 3-2. Got him 3-2 back in the 3rd inning and struck him out swinging. Farmer's given but 3 hits. Pitch. Curveball, he missed with it outside. Ball 4. That is the 5th walk given up by Ed Farmer. So Toronto opens this inning by getting their lead runner on. They've done so in the 1st, in the 3rd, in the 5th.
WBAP 820, Fort Worth, Dallas. When the drains don't work, Roto-Rooter does. Call Roto-Rooter for help from the pros.
Rico Carty comes on. Nothing out of 2. He hit a ball that sent John Grubb to the wall. Bounced into it after catching that liner in the 4th inning. Right-handed batter. Carty cuts one up the middle. Blanks grabs near second, stands on the bag, and makes it a double play as he tosses over to Putnam. Well, a made-to-order second double play. That ball near the bag. Blanks fielded it there, and with Carty running, he did not have to be in any great big hurry. Got the force on Velez, and then shot the ball over to Putnam, and that is the Rangers' second double play of the ball game. So now nobody aboard, and 2 men quickly out. Here's John Mayberry. John has walked and hit a fly ball to deep right center field, so he's nothing out of 1. John hitting at .315, 3 homers and 21 runs batted in. He had the game winner in the first contest. He's 6 for now 16 against Texas. That's a .375 clip. Ball is bounced in, hit out in front of the plate, kicks on by. Count of a ball and no strike. A walk to the leadoff batter, then Carty bounces into a double play. Nobody on, 2 gone. Here's the pitch to Mayberry up high, ball 2, 2-0. Rick Bassetti, the center fielder, is the on-deck man. Should Mayberry get aboard? They play Nelson Norman on the second base side from his shortstop position out in center field on the second base side. Blanks way over, and there's the ball smacked hard. Putnam grabs it on one hop, runs over, steps on the bag, and that'll do it here in the 6th inning. And at the end of 6, our score, Toronto 1, Texas nothing.
If your central air conditioning goes out, Hobson Air Conditioning suggests you replace it with a new Carrier heat pump air conditioner. It'll cool your home or business in summer, heat it in winter, and save you money year-round. Cost-conscious people are turning to a Carrier heat pump as the #1 solution to high utility bills. Call your certified Carrier dependable, Hobson Air Conditioning in Weatherford, for all the heat pump facts. Carrier, we can't control the weather, but we can help you control its cost.
When you're looking for a way to lighten your day, to brighten your day, think of Fry. Flying away to the taste of yesterday, the old-fashioned flavor of Fry. After running around all over town, put your feet on the ground and try. Floating up and away to the taste of yesterday, the old-fashioned flavor of Fry.
You're in for a big shock during AC Ducko's big Ducko shock absorber sale. It means super values on Ducko regular shocks and Ducko heavy-duty shocks. Both built bigger than standard 1-inch shocks. So, hurry on into a participating outlet in your neighborhood where you see the big Ducko shock sale poster. Sale lasts until May 31st, 1979, or till supplies run out.
Zimmerman Sons and Company Incorporated, 420 North Main, Cleburne, Texas. Telephone 817-645-2428.
Catcher John Ellis will try to get something going for the Rangers here in the 7th inning. John, nothing out of 2. He has not had a hit against Toronto in 2 official at-bats this year. However, he has driven in a run with a sacrifice fly. Pitch to him. There's a foul ball out of play to the right. And the count is a strike. Ellis struck out in the 2nd. Fly ball to left. His last time in the 4th inning. And Phil Huffman working on a 3-hitter. His opposition. Ed Farmer is given but 3 hits. Here's the next delivery. Overhand curveball, slap foul down the right field side, well back into the seat. And Huffman gets out in front of John Ellis. 2 strikes. Huffman has struck out but 1, and that was Ellis in the 2nd inning. He has not walked but 1 man, and that was Bell in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch. Overhand delivery. Missing, and the count is 1-2. Through 6 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, Toronto. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Rangers. 1-2 delivery, very high, and the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ellis currently hitting at 266. John mentioned earlier he's been on a good string of hitting here over the past couple of weeks. Curveball just misses low and away, and the count is full. So Huffman, after getting quickly up on John Ellis, 2 strikes, is now proceeded to fill the bill. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a very high fly, shallow center field. Bassetti coming in. The center fielder called off the infielders that had backed up, and Bassetti puts it away for the out. So a very high fly off of the bat of Ellis records the first out here in the inning, and that brings on Pat Putnam. Pat grounded out twice. He's had
the first baseman, number 18.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the doubleheader. Ground balls. He's had 1 hit this afternoon and scored the Rangers' lone run in that opening encounter. With 1 out, he stands in. Here's the pitch. Reaches, misses the breaking pitch. 1 strike. Pat hitting at 273. Has 5 hits and 19 at-bats against the Blue Jays. Here's the 1 strike delivery. Another change-up a little off of the breaking ball. The count is 1-1 that missed outside. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball ripped right back to the mound and speared by Phil Huffman. Tosses to Mayberry. 2 men are gone, and that ball was really smoked. But came up nicely for the pitcher, Huffman, to make a stab of it. And he did so cleanly and tosses out Putnam for out number 2. Here's Mike Jorgensen playing center field in this 2nd game. Fouled out and grounded out. Nothing out of 2. He's hitting an even .500 against Toronto this year. 6 for 12. Pitch slow and away. Ball 1. Here in the 7th with 2 outs and nobody on. I noticed Kern, who had warmed earlier, came to the dugout after the last half inning. Pitch in for a strike, and it's 1-1. So apparently he feels that Pat Corrales needs some relief, that he's warmed and ready. But Farmer apparently is staying a little while longer. A breaking ball misses low. Count of 2 balls, 1 strike.
16,531.
All right, Huffman ready with a 2-1 pitch bounced in. The count is 3-1. The attendance this afternoon for the double dip, 16,531. Huffman with the new baseball rubs it up a little bit and comes back up on the rubber to view the sign flashed out by Rick Cerrone. He's ready, and here's the 3-1 delivery. Hacked on the ground, wide of first. Mayberry fields, picks up, underhands it to the pitcher, and he almost missed the bag, but does a double step and gets his foot on it. 3-1, the Rangers are gone in the 7th, and at the end of 6.5 still, it's Toronto 1, Texas nothing.
You know, it's amazing what a fresh coat of sealing paint will do to brighten a room. And that's a good place to start your cleaning and painting. At your Cook Paint Decorating Center, you will find the kind of sealing paint you need for the texture or finish you want. And then for walls and trim, a fantastic color selection and your choice of paints. There are all sorts of color samples and how to do it booklets to help you. And your Cook man is always ready to advise you on how to do the job easiest and best. Cook Paint, a good place to start your bright ideas for decorating.
The Rangers are proud to announce that the 4th annual Texas Rangers Yearbook is now available to all fans during the '79 season. The 40-page annual is filled with full-color action pictures, as well as information on all the Ranger players and promising minor league prospects. The yearbook is available at Arlington Stadium for $2, or fans may order one by mail by sending a check or money order for $2 plus $1 for postage and handling to Rangers Yearbook, P.O. Box 1111, Arlington, Texas, 76010.
Arlington. For the good times in '79, enjoy Six Flags over Texas, the capital of fun for everyone. Or 10 minutes to the east, the Southwestern Historical Wax Museum, featuring more than 180 personalities from the Old West in wax. Or visit Traders Village, open every weekend. It's the Disneyland of flea markets, featuring special events year-round. May 20th, see the 2nd annual Experimental Aircraft Show at Arlington Municipal Airport. Arlington, for your springtime good times.
Center fielder Rick Bossetti leads it off, nothing out of 2. Wide out and struck out. And Ed Farmer's come all the way, ready to work to him, and here's the pitch. Lifted foul off to the right, and that'll carry back out of play. After 8 innings in New York, it's the Yankees 12 and the Angels 3. New York 12, California 3. They're now in the 9th inning. Had a rain delay up there. Got the ball game back underway. And the Yankees immediately came up with 5 big runs. Here's the 1-strike delivery, swung on and up foul. Rolls behind the plate. Farmer up on Bossetti quickly, 2 strikes. Woods and McKay due to follow here in the 7th inning. Still 1-0, the only run back in the 3rd inning. And right-hander Phil Huffman's made that stand so far. There's the ball, hit foul. So 3 pitches and 3 foul balls, and the count holds at 0-2. Infield and outfield pulling Bossetti to the left. Slaps this one foul. He broke his bat on that. Hit it off of the handle, and practice you could hear it break off. Hit it off of the handle, and practice you could hear it break all the way up here. So 4 deliveries, and Bossetti has fouled all 4. Rangers winning Friday night and yesterday afternoon, 3-1. And so the Blue Jays come back this afternoon and win their ball game, and the score, what? 3-1. They lead this one 1-0. Each team with 3 hits in the contest. Here's the pitch. Low, and the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bossetti, he's had only 3 hits in 25 at-bats against Texas. There's a swinging strike 3, and he's down on strike. Second time that Ed Farmer's cut him down, and that'll be strikeout number 4, registered by Farmer. With 1 down, here's Al Wood. Line to left. Good play by Grubb that sent him to the fence, and then slapped a single to right in the 5th inning. Left-handed batter hitting at 262. Strike with a good one over the outside edge. 0-1. Well, we're getting in the late stages of the ball game. Here's the pitch by Farmer. Bounced in, hopped up, strikes the catcher John Ellis in the face mask. Count goes to 1-1. Don't forget, the Rangers are proud to announce that the 4th annual Texas Rangers yearbook is available to all you fans during the 1979 season. 40-page annual is filled with color pictures as well as information on the Ranger players and the promising minor league prospects. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Hit in the air to right field. Coming in a hurry is this. Getting there and taps the glove and makes the catch. The 2 men are down, and that'll bring on Dave McKay. He has singled and scored the game's only run and put down a sacrifice bunt. So he's 1 for 1 in this game, hitting at 213.
Number 39, Dave McKay.
My goodness, California came up with 7 runs in the 9th inning, but they fell short. And New York won it 12-10. Ooh, they had a couple of big innings late. New York had scored 5 in the 8th inning. There's a strike. But the Angels came back with 7 in the 9th, but still lose 12-10. Farmer works, and there's a high popper to left field. Not deep. Shortstop Nelson Norman backs in and says he'll take it and does. Puts it away, and the side is gone. That's the end of 7 innings with a score. Toronto 1, Texas nothing.
It's AC Delco tune-up days at your All-Pro Auto Parts store. Worn or misfiring spark plugs waste gas and money, but your All-Pro man can help you tune up the right way with AC firing spark plugs, matched with the right Delco Remy ignition parts. The big black and yellow All-Pro sign stands for savings on dependable name brand parts, tools, and accessories. It's an automotive supermarket. While you're there, register to win free tickets to Texas Ranger baseball games. All-Pro Auto Parts, where there's always a pro to help.
For a lot of people, there is only one weatherman. Don Burt of Rosser writes,
I am a farmer and watch Harold Taft 3 times daily for real and accurate forecasts.
Mike Lampkins of Richardson writes,
What the public wants is an intelligent weather report, not a song and dance.
Mrs. W.H. Dickinson, Jr. of Dallas writes,
In our family, there is no choice. If we really need to know the weather, we listen to Harold Taft.
Harold Taft. He predicts the weather. Texas News on TV5.
You're in for a big shock during AC Delco's big Delco shock absorber sale. It means super values on Delco regular shocks and Delco heavy-duty shocks. Both built bigger than standard 1-inch shocks. So, hurry on into a participating outlet in your neighborhood where you see the big Delco shock sale poster. Sale lasts until May 31st, 1979, or till supplies run out.
Quality AC Delco parts and service at Carter's 301 Chestnut in Bonham are your assurance of a properly running vehicle. Carter's 301 Chestnut in Bonham.
Marvell Blank starts it off. He's 1 out of 2, has one of the 3 Ranger hits. Winning pitcher in that game between New York and California was Beatty, 1-1. And let's see. Or rather, 2-1. New York leading Montreal 4-1. That's the commotion. They put it up on the scoreboard in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the losing pitcher was Chris Knapp. He's 2-1. Aikens hit his 6th homer in the 9th with 2 on. Meadows his 5th, the 2nd with 2 on. Blank swings on the first pitch and lines one into left center for a base hit. Fassetti goes over, cuts it off, and holds Blanks to a single. The Larbells 2 out of 3, and the Rangers got their leadoff batter aboard. Last man they had on was Nelson Norman, who's coming on right now, who doubled back in the 5th inning. Huffman had put down 7 in a row. Bump Wills comes on to run for Larvell Blank. Well, Blank's getting some duty today and trying to make the most of it. Has picked up a couple of hits and 3 at-bats. By the way, in that game, Reggie Jackson now has driven in at least 1 run in his last 10 games, which is too short of the Major League record. All right, here's Nelson Norman. A double in 2 trips, hit the ball hard the first time up. Just about time he's ready to work. Time is called momentarily. And Wills wants to Do a little manicure work around the first base area. Have double barrel action down in the bullpen. Looks like Tom Buskey, a right-hander throwing. Can't get the number of the left-hander. Move over to first base and jumping back as Mayberry takes the toss is Wills. Rangers getting their 4th hit, so they now about hit Toronto 4-3, but they trail in runs 1-0. Third baseman Baylor comes in close. Norman squares, bunts the ball up the first base side, foul. So the count is a strike. Mayberry grabs it and foul ground. Like Doc Medich, right-hander, up throwing in the bullpen now for the Rangers. 0-1 is the count on Nelson Norman. He's trying to put the bunt down to advance Wills, who is pinch running for blank into scoring position. There's a move over, and Wills jumps back ahead of it. Bump has swiped 8 bases this year in 10 tries. So he's 80% in that category. Pat Corrales trying to get somebody in scoring position. Norman again squares, bunts this one off to the pitcher's side, and the sack is good. Picked up by Huffman. And coming over to cover is McKay, who takes the throw. 1-4 for the putout, but the sack, as we mentioned, is good. And on the bunt, Wills moves down to second base. Johnny Grubb comes on. Grubb's 1 out of 3. And a good play was made on him the last time in the 5th inning by McKay. Possibly take a base hit away from him. Single back in the 3rd inning. Base hit right now and should tie the game. Rangers with Wills at second base. All right, they have the stage set. Wills with a sizable lead off of the bag from second, and Huffman peers in. For the sign, right-hander readies and delivers. Breaks it right over. Strike call. 1-0 Toronto. We play in the 8th inning. Rangers have the top of the order up there right now with 1 out. Johnny Grubb, Buddy Bell is on deck. From the stretch, a check of second. Huffman delivers. Inside, just missing, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Only 7 hits in the ball game. Toronto had but 6 in the first game, and they won that one 3-1. The Rangers had 8. Here's the pitch. Over but low, and the count is 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. A crisp day here in the Canadian city of Toronto in the 50s. Here's a look back to second and the 2-1 delivery. Inside it sails, and the count goes out to 3-1. All right, let's see what we got on. Frank Lucchese now coaching down at third base here in this inning. They come to the set position, does Huffman, and here's the pitch. Foul back on the screen. He had the green light. That fills it 3-2. Well, of course, you know that pitcher's got to come in with it on 3-1 or put him aboard. And this late in the ball game, if possible, you do not want to get that, what could be the winning run on the base pass. Huffman studies the sign of Rick Cerrone, looks to Wills at second, and works. He's going to go to third, and the pitch is high, and Wills steals third base, and Grubb walks. Cerrone did not even make a throw. Baylor a little late getting over there, but Wills steals his 9th base of the year. Boy, that was a costly blow perhaps for
number 25.
Toronto, because now Bell can get him home a number of ways. Fly ball. And Wills was running. Huffman didn't keep him that close, and he got a great jump on him. But then Cerrone did not even throw after Grubb took the ball for a walk. So the Rangers now have the tie run 90 feet away. Go-ahead run on it first. Here's the pitch, and Bell takes very high, ball 1. That was only the second walk given up by Huffman this afternoon. The other came way back in inning number 3. So now they are setting double play depth. 1 ball to count on Bell. From the belt, a check, and the pitch. Changeup misses high, and the count is 2-0. Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Roy Hartsfield out of that dugout pretty quick. Blanks led off the inning with a base hit. Fields ran for him. Here's the pitch. Ooh, he almost hit him, but he goes down and just avoids being struck in the head. Buddy Bell really doing a quick act to get out of that batter's box that time. And he helped gravity a little bit. Oliver's on deck. Rangers trying to come back here in the late stages and salvage the split in the doubleheader and take the series 3-1. Here's the check and the pitch. Bell's taking all the way, and it's through for a strike. 3-1. A base hit. Sacrifice got Wills over to second base. Then he stole third as Grubb took ball 4. So Johnny's on at first. Wills over at third. 3-1 the count on Bell. Grubb's running, and the pitch is swung on, hit into right field. That'll get 2 runs home, perhaps. Racing over it, gets 5. Velez, it'll go all the way to the wall. Here is Grubb around the third base bag. Comes on to score, and the Rangers lead it 2-1. So Buddy Bell slaps one into right field. They had the runner Grubb running on the pitch, and Bell lined it in the alley, got all the way to the wall, and Bell drives then to second base with a 2-run double. Here's Hartsfield out to the mound. And Buell may have gotten out of the barn on him. Well, he's going to go to the bullpen. Wills comes on to score. He was running for Larvell Blank to open the inning. So Phil Huffman is gone, and we have a change. The left-hander coming on. We'll remind you that there is a pause in the action. This is the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
Just taking a wild guess, I'd say you were a sports fan. Your being tuned in for this Rangers game proves that. And more than likely, your interest is in more than just one sport. You can't go to every game or listen to all types of sports broadcasts, but you can keep up with just about everything that goes on in the sports world, and it's as easy as saying WBAP. Just listen to the Don Harris Show every morning and twice an hour between 6 and 9 a.m. Bob Dahlgren has sports reports for you on a wide variety of activities. Also, a special report from Bob Dahlgren can be heard at 6:10 p.m. each weekday afternoon. And for special information on the Rangers, Jim Sundberg has a show at 5:10 p.m. Monday through Friday, Behind the Plate with Jim Sundberg. So when it's updates on sports you want, it's update sports you get on WBAP, just for WBA people.
Safeway brands give you the quality you want at prices you can afford. Look for the Safeway S on the package. It's the sign of real value.
Mike Willis is on to replace Phil Huffman, who worked 7 in the third inning. And the first man he'll be facing will be left-handed batting Al Oliver for the man at second base. The Rangers just scoring a couple and have forged ahead 2-1. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. This is the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
This is WBAP 820, Fort Worth, Dallas. When the Rangers play at night, we go the distance. Get all the scores in the Dallas Times-Herald Texas edition.
Oliver standing in, hitting at 325. Here's a pitch, breaking ball low. Al's nothing out of 3 in this afternoon's second contest. Had a couple of hits in the first ball game. Willis, left-hander, nothing in 2 on the year, making his 9th appearance. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 2, 2-0. Oliver had a notion. Willis just stands there with his hand on his hip on that call. He's worked 15 and a third innings, giving up a better than a hit per inning. 18 hits, 12 earned runs, and an earned run average of 7.04. Down to Oliver, 2-0. Here's the pitch. Curveball starts to go, checks, and it's outside. All 3-0. Well, a single by Blank. A walk to Grubb, and then a double that knocked in 2 runs for Buddy Bell. Rangers lead it 2-1 in the 8th. Huffman had pitched very well coming into this inning. There's a pitch for a strike, and it's 3-1. Oliver taking all the way. Huffman walked only 2 men. Struck out but 1. Curveball, check swing, went too far. An appeal, and the plate umpire says that he went too far, so it's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Oliver. So Willis, after getting behind, comes back to pick up a couple of strikes. Jim Kern back down the bullpen, heating up again. Rangers lead it 2-1. And the big payoff pitch right now to Oliver. Here it is. Swung on the ground of the shortstop. Grip and gloves, forces Bell back in. throws to first in time for the out. Oliver, for the third time today, is grounded to the shortstop. That brings on Richie Zisk. Now the left-handers joined Busky out in the bullpen. Way down the left field line. Very difficult to pick up their numbers, the angle that they stand, because they're looking this way. All right, here's Zisk hitting at 204. Richie, nothing out of 3 in this game. Did not hit in the first contest. Chance to bring in a run. Check swing. The ball gets away from the catcher, Cerrone, and Bell had a notion, but Cerrone finally, after kicking it a couple of times, found it. Zisk up there with a count of 1 ball on him. 2 runs are in the inning. Rangers 2 and the Blue Jays 1. Blue Jays won the opening encounter by a count of 3-1. John Ellis would be next. Wind blowing out toward right. Here's the check of second and the pitch. Foul delivery that he turned over and he missed outside, and the count is 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, Mike Willis, who came on in relief of starter Phil Huffman, got behind Oliver and then came back to get him out. There's a change that breaks low. That's probably screwball, and it's 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. And Zisk takes a look down third base to see if he's got the green light. Sure, Pat Corrales like to get a little more insurance. Bell down at second. Had the big hit here in the inning. 2-base double. There's ball 4 that knocked in 2 runs, I should have said. Zisk draws the walk. So Willis has faced 2 men, got Oliver, and now has walked Richie Zisk. Third walk given up by Blue Jay pitchers here in the second game, and John Ellis stands in. John's nothing out of 3. Ellis hitting at 279. Came on today an even 300 average, so you can see John has not been to the plate all that many times. Up high with the pitch. Now, total of 43 times, and he has 12 hits. Here's Hartsfield heading out the mound. He may make another change right about now. As Willis, he's going to go the right-hander, and that'll probably be Tom Busky. It'll be the first time that Busky's worked since, he's coming in. Just called up and got here yesterday after injury to Clancy on Friday night. So Tom Busky will be the man. So Mike Willis works the third of an inning. Does not give up a hit. He has the responsibility of one of the base runners, and that's Zisk, who drew the walk. Did not strike out anyone. And Tom Busky.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Blue Jays.
Busky here in the 8th inning. We're now 2 out. He'll be facing John Ellis, right-handed batter. In other league action, first of all in the National League this afternoon, Cincinnati won over Pittsburgh 7-3. Atlanta was defeated by St. Louis, the Cardinals 7, Braves 3. Houston got a shutout and won 3-0 over Chicago. Los Angeles 8 and Montreal 2. That's now through 7 innings of play. San Diego 4, New York 2. Also through 7 innings of play. And let's check. Philadelphia 7, San Francisco 3. That is now in the 7th inning. In the American League, Boston won over Oakland 8-2. Yankees won 12-10 over California. Seattle at Baltimore was postponed by rain. Detroit defeated Milwaukee this afternoon 6-2. Kansas City beat Chicago 14-5. And Cleveland stopped Minnesota 3-2. And Wayne Garland got his first win of the year in that contest. Rangers in Minnesota for 3 games beginning tomorrow night. All right, here's Ellis with 2 men on. 2 runs are in. Busky throws inside, ball 1. Busky just called up yesterday along with Garvin. Murphy was given his release. There's a smash. Shortstop can't get it. Into left field for a base hit. Here's Bell around to score. Zisk will race over to third base. and it's a 3-1 ball game. So John Ellis comes through and pumps a hard single into left center field, scoring Bell easily from second base, and Zisk runs from first over to third. So Buskey greeted by a base hit. That run will be charged to the starter, Phil Huffman. So he gives up 3 runs, all earned. And Buskey has been greeted by Ellis with a base hit. Buskey hadn't won a ball game down at Syracuse. He had been in 12 ball games. Sundberg is on to run for Ellis, so Jim probably catch
Running for Ellis, number 10.
last couple of innings. Sundberg on at first base to run for John Ellis, who just picked up a single that drove in a run. Rangers have scored 3 times here in the inning, and Pat Putnam, nothing out of 3, will be the batter. With runners at the corners and 2 men out.
The first baseman, number 18, Hudson.
Buskey, formerly with New York and Cleveland. Buskey ready, right-hander throws. Putnam swings and misses, strike 1. The guy over at third base, Richie Zisk, is the responsibility of the left-hander Mike Willis. He came on and worked the 2 batters. Got Oliver on a ground ball, but he walked Zisk. Buskey ready, throws, and there's a smash into right center field. Hard liner for a base hit, drives in a run. Center fielder comes up with the ball. Bassetti fires it back in, and Sundberg, running for Ellis, races over to third base. So Putnam comes through, stinging one sharply to the opposite side, and drives in a run. Now it's a 4-1 ball game. All of the Ranger runs coming in this inning. Well, that's not going to work either. So there goes Roy Hartsfield right back out of the mound, and he's going to go to the bullpen again. So Buskey gives up singles to Ellis and Putnam and gets no one out, and scored on twice. So he, in his debut here with Toronto, with whom he was with last year, not too impressive, of course. Sure that Tom would like to have gotten those people out of there. So we got another left-hander, Jim, and I didn't get the name of the guy coming on. Baylor Moore, left-hander. He was the one that was involved the other day in the big blowout where they had 3 battles in Minnesota. Moore becomes the 4th pitcher here in the 8th inning. Slated to bat will be Mike Jorgensen. He'll be the 9th man the Rangers have paraded up there. The last run was charged to Willis, who did not give up a hit, but he did walk a batter. The Rangers now have made it a 4-1 ball game here in the 8th inning. And Jorgensen, nothing out of 3, will be the batter. So Baylor Moore is on to pitch. He's not won a game, nor has he lost one. This will be his 10th appearance. Nor does he have a save, but he has a sizable earned run average of 8.56, working 13 and 2/3 innings, giving up 20 hits and 13 earned runs. Been tapped 3 times for home runs, walked 14 and struck out 5. Roy Hartsfield has really been having problems with that bullpen, and they tried to help that a little bit by bringing up Garvin and Buskey. Buskey used today to no avail. He did not work any innings, especially there's a curveball that's low. Ball 1. Sundberg is over at third. He's running for John Ellis. Putnam is the man on at first. Ooh, he almost hit him, backing Jorgensen out of there. Apparently they call that first pitch a strike. Scoreboard showing 1-1. 4-1, the Rangers lead it. Breaking loose. 4 runs here in the 8th inning. Texas now has a total of 7 hits. There's a pitch up high and in. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wills is out on deck. He came on to run. There's the ball hit Deep into right field, going back, looking up, and that one is out of here. Home run for Mike Jorgensen. Well, that ball's still rolling on the artificial surface. 3 runs. Drives in 3 runs. Sundberg comes on to score. Putnam comes on to score. Jorgensen just hit his 3rd homer of the year. 3-run job. And suddenly it's a 7-1 ball game. And now a lot of fans have a reason, perhaps, to go home, and they're getting up and going home. Here's Wills, first time in this game. Bump has not had a hit against Toronto this year. 0 for 19. Pitch to him, breaking ball low. Ball 1. Outside, ball 2. There's a foul ball shot out of play, and the count is 2-1. Well, Baylor Moore has given up a hit, and it was a home run to Jorgensen. Left-hander didn't bother him a lot. 2-1 on Wills, batting right-handed. Here's the pitch. There's a high fly ball to center field. Coming on is Bassetti. He's under it, puts it away, and that'll finally do it here in the inning. And Rangers come up with 4 runs. And after 7.5 innings, their score, Texas 4. Check me on that. They came up with 7 runs. And after play here in the top of the 8th inning, our score, the Rangers 7 and the Blue Jays 1.
Here's to the guys who build our roads, all 4 million miles of them.
This bunch for you. You're working hard all day just like you always do.
Well, mainly in heavy highway construction. Traffic's pretty rough to deal with. 55, 60 miles an hour. Trying to flag traffic, it gets pretty rough. Yeah. We've had a couple people get off and drive down into the grade, get into concrete. He came around, and instead of following the barricades and that for the detour, he just drove right off, was married to his bumpers by the time he got finished. 10-inch thick concrete. He was surprised, and we tried to have the guy arrested and wound up having a highway patrol drive in and pulling right behind him do the same thing.
This bunch for you.
Yeah, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Jack in the box. We're really cooking now. A jumbo jack, a Moby jack, a bonus jack. A super scoop of fries, I have a breakfast shack. The onion rings, the natural thing, the secret sauce is still the boss. The tacos really taco, and the food never stops at Jack in the Box. The food never stops at Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box. Now you're cooking, Jack.
Jack in the Box restaurants.
Jack in the Box. We're really cooking now.
Catcher Rick Cerrone takes the strike. Well, Ed Farmer been cruising along with a 3-hitter, but trailing 1-0. Sat and watched the Rangers score 7 runs on 5 hits, capped off by a 3-run homer by Jorgensen. Comes out there to work here in the last of the 8th inning. Delivers low and away, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Rick Cerrone leading it off. Griffin is on deck, the top of the order. Farmer all set. Right-hander kicks and throws. There's a long, high fly ball. Too high to get out of here. Grubb backs up, waits, and has it for the out. We'll have some defensive change. Will stays in the ball game to play at second base.
The shortstop, number 4, Alfredo.
And let's check to be sure. Everyone else still in there. Sundberg is on behind the plate. So Sundberg now working behind the plate. Here's a strike to Griffin. He's nothing out of 1. Walked, put out a sacrifice, and struck out. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors. 1-3-0 for Toronto. And Huffman finally had to get away from him in the 8th inning, and then the relief was just like pouring gas on a big fire. It really hopped all over those guys. First it was Mike Willis, Tom Buskey. There's the ball hit in left field. Base hit for Griffin. He continues to hit against the Rangers. Lines 1 to left, opposite way, and they got a runner. That's their 4th hit. That'll bring on Bob Baylor, who has one of the four and drove in their only run back in the third inning. One out, one on. Bob Baylor, wide open stance. Infield sets some double play depth. Farmer comes to him. Up high, ball one. Rangers getting 7 runs on 5 hits, including Jorgensen's third homer. It was a 3-run clout. 1-0 on Bob Baylor. Velez is on deck. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 2. Farmer walks in behind the mound. Now comes back up to read the sign of John Ellis. Readies himself and now steps off. Comes back and ready to work. Pitch is high. Ball 3. 3-0. Farmer has walked 5 men today and struck out 4. Corrales goes out of the mound. And Jim Kern, right-hander, gets up, starts throwing in the bullpen for the Rangers. Corrales wants to find exactly how he feels right now. And of course, you always revert to that thing about, well, he sat on the bench a long time, and he did. The Rangers scored 7 runs. But I'm sure Ed was quite happy to do that because he is trailing in the game heading into the 8th inning. Rangers been shut out on only 3 base hits. They came up with 5, including the 3-run homer, and now lead the ball game 7-1. That may be the biggest inning they've had all year. I'm not sure. Pitch, ball 4. He lost him. 4 pitches. That'll send Griffin over to second. And that is walk number 6, surrendered by Ed Farmer.
Number 19, Otto Velez.
Otto Velez, nothing out of 2. Right-hander batter, looks at one up high, ball 1. 2 on for the Blue Jays with only 1 out. And they're getting into the meat of the order. Pitch, strike called, 1-1. Right in there. With 1 down, the Rangers love to see the ground ball right now for the double play. Here's the pitch. Curveball, strike 2. Nice pitch. Velez didn't like the call. But this guy has not had a hit against Texas all year. Of course, he hasn't played in every game either. Here's the pitch. Swing. Ooh, there's a long drive. Way back. Look out. That one is out of here. Well, he's out of hit now. He hits the 3-run homer. Griffin scoring from second. Baylor from first. And Otto Velez has really cranked up and cracked one out of here. So don't go away. It's 7-4. Here's Corrales coming back out. He's going to go to Kern right now. I guess he figures that's enough. So, let's check and see. Five hits. 4 runs, all earned. Struck out 4 and has walked 6. And that one came on to Honey. So Farmer works 7 in the 3rd inning. Still his ball game to win. And Jim Kern is on the pitch for the Rangers. Jim making his 13th appearance of the year. 4 wins, no losses, and 3 saves. Worked 29 in the 3rd inning. Less than a hit per inning, 27. Given up 10 runs, only 5 of which have been earned. Not allowed a home run. And walked 16. Kern is on to throw his warm-up tosses. And Farmer has departed. First man that he'll be looking at, Will Kern, will be Rico Carty. Farmer 7 in the third innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. Struck out 4, walked 6, and uncorked a wild pitch. Rico Carty will be the batter. Rico nothing out of 3 this afternoon, including hitting into a double play. So Jim Kern, he and Sparky Lyle, a tandem that comes out of the bullpen in the late going. Lyle has been out of there 16 times, and now Kern for his 13th appearance. Well, neither team able to any sizable scoring threat, and very few runs in the first game. 3-1, Toronto won it, and then the Rangers explode for 7 runs in the 8th inning, and now Toronto has bounded back. To pick up 3 runs on a 3-run homer. I know the scoreboard only has given him 2, but I'm sure that Griffin and Thaler and Velez would not agree. 7-4 pitch hit the bat apparently, and the count is 1-1. Next delivery, breaking ball, took something off, got it right over. Ball strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The outing that Kern was so impressive against Kansas City when he struck out the last 5 men in a row and retired 14 of the 15 that he faced. He was using a lot of curveballs and changeup. There's a pitch swung on a missed. He struck him out. Well, that's what a guy like Kern got, that hard heater, he calls it, can come off of that bench and strike out a batter. And now there are 2 men out. Here's John Mayberry. John's nothing out of 2. Has been on once and a walk. We're in Toronto's half of the 8th inning. 7-4 ball game. Notice they've corrected that up on the scoreboard now. They have 4 runs on 5 hits. Rangers 7 runs on 8 hits. Both clubs now with a 3-run homer. Rangers by Jorgensen. Velez hit 1 for Toronto. Down low, the delivery to Mayberry. Ball 1. On deck is Rick Bossetti. The Jim Kern on, ready to work. Here's the pitch. Hard swing and a foul ball. Nubbed off to the right side, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Don't forget the Rangers in Minnesota as they start a very important 3-game series with the Twins tomorrow night. Fergie Jenkins against Roger Erickson, probables. Then on Tuesday night, Doc Ellis will work against Pete Redford. Right here, a 1 ball, 1 strike count on John Mayberry. Pitch is up high and taken, and it's 2-1. Wednesday, John Matlack goes against Paul Hartzell, and the Rangers out to the West Coast for the first time this year to play Seattle. 3-game stand. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Foul ball. Hammered back into the crowd. Count holds at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3 runs are in for the Blue Jays here in the 8th. To make it a 7-4 Ranger lead. Toronto had held a 1-0 lead since the 3rd, so the Rangers got 7 in the 8th inning. Kern looks into Sundberg. Have the switch on for him, and here's the pitch down low, and it's 3-2, a full count on Mayberry. Nelson Norman, the shortstop, on the second base side of the infield. Yankees scored 5 in the 8th today, and California came back with 7. Fell a little short. There's a foul ball back in our vicinity. Now, holding it 3-2, and again, Kern will have to make the 3-2 pitch. He got the first man he faced, Rico Carty, on strikes. Carty's gone nothing out of 4 this afternoon. Big John hitting at 312. Hit the game winner in the first ball game. RBI. Kern readies himself for the 3-2 pitch. Needless to say, the outfield is deep as they can get almost. There's a smash to center. Jorgensen comes in. The ball holds up. A hard liner. Grabs it for the out, and that'll do it here in the 8th inning. 3 runs for Toronto, and after 8 full, it's Texas 7, Toronto 4.
Bob Wilkerson Battery and Air Conditioning carries a battery that's designed to take care of itself.
It's called the Delco Freedom Battery. You get freedom from maintenance, and it's packed with plenty of sealed-in starting kick and cranking power for fast, reliable starts. Bob Wilkerson invites you to visit his new location at 2900 West 6th in Fort Worth and check out the powerful, maintenance-free Delco Freedom Battery. Bob Wilkerson Battery and Air Conditioning, 2900 West 6th, serving the Fort Worth area for over 50 years.
With the 1979 baseball season now underway, there is a need for personnel to work in almost all areas of operation at Arlington Stadium. So if you're interested in working at the stadium, apply in person any Monday through Friday between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. until 3 p.m., and Sunday 12 noon until 3 p.m. Bring proof of age and Social Security card. The personnel office is located at Arlington Stadium, Gate 4.
Do something nice for your car during AC Filter Days. Your AC Delco serviceman features quality engine protection with AC oil filters, AC air filters, AC gasoline filters, and AC PCV valves. Protect your engine now during AC Filter Days. Go with the names you know. AC Delco. Prepare your car for the hot months ahead. See Bill Curry's Service Department, 1330 West Airport Freeway in Irving.
Nelson Norman, the shortstop for the Rangers, starts it off. He's 1 out of 2 with a sacrifice. Baylor Moore bounces one in there. Well, there's 10 runs scored in the last inning, in the 8th inning. 7, fortunately, by Rangers, and 3 by the Blue Jays. And it's a 7-4 ball game. We're ready, and here's the pitch. Strike called. Moore, the 4th pitcher used by Roy Hartsfield. Next delivery, strike 2 call. Soft stuff over at the knees, 1-2. Moore studies the sign and ready to work. Delivers, swung on a slow tap, third base side, charging as Bob Baylor picks up, throws, and just gets him. Long stretch by Mayberry. Shorter guy might not have been able to make that play. And third baseman Bob Baylor had to really charge to nip Nelson Norman going down that line at first. Out of the order, John Grubb slated to be the batter. Whether he will or not, apparently he's not going to bat. Billy Sample, as the stick comes out of the dugout. Sample played the first ball game and failed to hit 3 plate appearances. So Sample will hit for Grubb here in the 9th inning. And apparently will stay in to play left field. Final score, Los Angeles wins again. That's 7 in a row. They won 8-2 over Montreal.
Sample batting for Grubb. Billy Sample.
So Los Angeles, getting out to one of the worst starts they've had in a long time, have really turned it on here of late. And their record now at 500, 18-18. Billy Sample coming on, hitting at 258. Pitch is high, ball 1. 1 out with nobody on. Buddy Bell is the man on deck. Bell had the big 2-run double, 8th inning that broke the tie. There's the pitch that's outside. Ball 2, 2-0. And then a walk to assist. Single by Ellis that drove in a run. Single by Putnam that drove in a run. And then a home run by Jorgensen that drove in 3 more runs, and the Rangers had 7. Here's the 2-0 delivery by Baylor Moore. Curveball in for strike. Good little action bullpen by a right-hander for Toronto. In the 9th, Rangers owning a 7-4 lead. They've out-hit them 8-5. Pitch outside, ball 3, 3-1. If you look ahead for Toronto in the 9th, they have the lower half of the order up there. Bassetti, Woods, and McKay. Here's the pitch, curveball, gets it over, and the count is full, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Grubb He led off today in the second game, was 1 out of 3. Also walked and scored a run. Ball 4, down low. So Sample comes on to pinch bat for Grubb. Picks up a walk. That's the 4th given up by Blue Jay pitching.
The third baseman, number 25, Buddy Bell.
Here's Bell. He has 1 for 3, including a walk. He's driven home a couple of runs. Gets that one over, does Baylor Moore, and the count is 1 strike. 0-1. 1 out, 1 on. Both clubs waiting till late to score very much. 1 out, 1 on. Both clubs waiting till late to score very much. Pitch swung on, bouncer over the middle. Here's Griffin grabbing, throwing to the second baseman who is dumped by Sample, but he throws back to Mayberry at first base in time for the double play. That one goes from 6-4 to 3. That'll do it. Here in the 9th inning, Rangers having the double play turned against them, and they leave no one on. They did not have a hit. So we'll be looking at the Toronto Blue Jays here in the last half of the 9th inning. Last call for them. By the way, the Rangers' 7th annual Farm and Ranch Night will be Friday, May 25th. That'll be when the Rangers are playing the Seattle Mariners in a doubleheader, beginning at 5:35. Co-sponsored by Delta Airlines and Texas Agricultural Products. Farm and Ranch Night is a salute to Texas-famed agricultural industry. There will be many special prizes for lucky fans, including a Delta Dream Vacation for 2 to Reno and Lake Tahoe. And between games of that doubleheader, players from both teams will be competing in such events as hog calling, cow milking, and egg tossing. That's Farm and Ranch Night, Friday, May 25th. We were talking to you a little earlier about the Texas Rangers yearbook. Well, you can get that by picking it up at the stadium for $2, or your fans may order one by mail. You send a check or money order for $2 plus $1 for postage and handling to Rangers Yearbook, Post Office Box 1111, Arlington, Texas 76010. Here's Rick Bassetti, center fielder, nothing out of 3. He's nothing out of 6 for the afternoon. His batting average at .265, right-handed batter. Final call for the Blue Jays, down by 3 runs, trailing 7-4, and Jim Kern works hard and high, ball 1. Mike Farmer went the first 7 in the 3rd innings, 5 hits and 4 runs. Very hard, and again out of the strike zone up. 2 balls, no strikes. Kern ready, and the right-hander throws a strike. Nothing but 3 hard fastballs to the first man up there, Rick Bassetti. And a considerable distance away from the plate. Hard swing and a miss, strike 2, and the count levels at 2-2. He just reached back and pumped that one right by. Al Woods will be next. Shadows starting to cover the outfield. Foul ball off to the right, 2-2. All of center field now covered, and in the area where Sample, by the way, who stayed in the ball game to play in left field, is out in left field. Right field still in the sunshine. The 2-2 pitch swung on a comeback right through the middle of the diamond into center field, and Bassetti plays it off here in the 9th with a base hit, picked up by Jorgensen. Return to the infield. Kern has been reached for his first base hit that he has allowed. So that is base hit number 6 for Toronto, and they bring up Al Wood. Wood singled in the 5th inning. 1 for 3. Left-handed batter. Kern checks the position of the infielders and outfielders before working to this left-hander, and the pitch comes down very high, ball 1. Well, Kern's been getting the ball up. No outs, 1 on. Here's the check by right-hander Jim Kern. Again he delivers, and again he misses high. Ball 2, 2-0. Woods hitting at 259. From the stretch, the pitch. There's a strike fired right down the middle. And Al Woods, the left fielder, taking all the way.
WBAP 820, Fort Worth, Dallas.
For the rundown at sundown and what's up at sunup, pick up Dallas all-day paper, the Dallas Times-Herald.
Pitch. Start to go and held up, and the pitch is up and inside, and it's 3-1. We're going to get a little left-handed activity, and that'll be Sparky Lyle starting to heat in the Ranger bullpen. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning. 3-1 the count. Here's the check on the pitch. Swung on, driven into left center, base hit. And here is Bassetti around second as Jorgensen will make the play into second. Go back-to-back singles. Puts runners at first and third for Toronto. Kern has been greeted here in the ninth by a couple of base hits. He got the final two outs in the eighth inning with a strikeout and a liner to center, and Pat Corrales comes out of the dugout. He wants to hit out the mound because now with nobody down, he has a potential tie run coming to the plate, and that would be Dave McKay. He's 1 out of 2 in this game. Lyle starting to throw, and of course, Walter wants to give Sparky a little time. Come on and work. Lyle worked in the first ball game. Got the final 2 outs in the eighth inning, and of course with Toronto leading, they did not bat in the ninth inning. All right, a single by Bassetti, a single by Woods, and the Blue Jays have runners at first and third. And here's Dave McKay, the second baseman. We say he is 1 out of 2 and has scored a run. Left-handed batter against right-handers stands in. Here's the check of the pitch. Foul ball back to screen. Kern came at him very hard and looked to be in on him a little bit, and he just got a piece of it and fouled it back. So it's 1 strike. Blue Jays now have 7 hits. The Rangers have out hit them by only 1. Both clubs with 3-run homers in the 8th inning. All right, 1 strike. Kern from the stretch delivers. There's a blooper foul over the third base Toronto dugout. And Kern works in front of McKay. 2 strikes. Rick Cerrone, the catcher, is on deck. (7-4). Rangers lead it. Blue Jays trying to keep it alive here in the 9th inning. Have 2 runners on and no outs. Kern taking too much time, and Dave McKay backs out of the box. In case you joined us late, Toronto won the opener 3-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball hangs outside on him. The count of 1-2. Kern comes down off of the mound onto the artificial surface so he can go to his mouth. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kay hitting a lefty .211. Here's the pitch. Call strike 3. He got that one over a nice breaking pitch from Jim Kern. Second strikeout. Now there's 1 out. And the infield with runners at first and third would certainly look for the double play. Cerrone has walked twice and has hit a fly ball to left. So he's nothing out of 1. One down, 2 on. Here's the check and the pitch. Nice breaking ball over strike call. Lead off single by Bassetti, and then he was singled over to third by Al Woods. 1 out, 2 on. Nice call. Pumped it right through, and it's 2 strikes to nothing on Cerrone. Top of the order, Griffin is on deck. Guy's been a tough out for the Rangers. Cerrone batting at .225. Right-handed batter. Here's the check, the pitch. Bouncing ball to Bell at third. Let's see, he goes to second for 1, the throw back to first. Not in time, and a run scores. Boy, that was close. And Cerrone beats the throw. They got the runner, Woods, going down from 5 to 4, but Wills relay to first baseman Putnam. was not in time. Coming on to score is Rick Bassetti, and it's now a 7-5 ball game. And the tie run with 2 outs is at the plate. Well, they're going to try to go for the heavy artillery, and Bob Robertson will come on. He's the kind of guy, if he gets a hold of it, can hit it out of here. So Bob Robertson comes up for the first time this afternoon. He's hitting at 071. Been to the plate 14 times, has only 1 hit, and that was a home run. Hit a couple of balls the other night off Matlack, but fortunately both were foul, but they were long out of this park. All right, now there's 2 men out. A run is in, and the score is 7-5. Roy Hartsfield, the manager, has gone to the bench. And Robertson will hit for Alfredo Griffin. Here's the pitch. Robertson takes inside a ball. Griffin was 1 out of 2. Singles and scored a run. Had a double and a triple in the first ball game. Scored a couple of runs. 7-5 contest. Kern works. High. Ball 2. 2-0. He gets the board. Bob Baylor is slated to be the next man up there. 2 balls, no strikes. Kern has struck out a couple, given up 2 base hits, one of which now is scored. Here's the pitch inside, ducks out of there, and the count is 3-0. And now Robertson wants to check with Harry Warner, the third base coach, see if he might have the green light. I suspect they would be having him take. The count on Bob Robertson. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. He walked him 4 pitches down. Second base moves Rick Cerrone. And that's the first walk given up by Kern. That's the 7th walk Ranger pitching has allowed this afternoon. And now here's Corrales going the mound. It's going to be all for Kern, and Sparky Lyles called on for the second time this afternoon. So Kern works an inning and a third. Gives up 2 hits, strikes out a couple, walks 1, has allowed a run, and has the responsibility of the 2 runners aboard right now. We mentioned Kern worked 2/3 of an inning in the first ball game and did not allow anything. Had a fielder's choice, got a run home, but that was charged to the starter, Doyle Alexander, who suffered the loss. So Sparky is on, and this will be his 18th appearance, and this the Rangers' 32nd game of the year. He's worked 23 innings, 14 hits, 10 earned runs, given up 3 home runs, walked 6, struck out 7, with a record of 2-2, and he also has saved 5 ball games. Well, he can pick up a save right now. He can get Bob Baylor out of there, and Baylor, tough guy to strike out. He's 1 out of 3 singled and knocked in the first run of the ball game, which stood up from the 3rd inning until the 8th inning, when the Rangers erupted for 7 runs on 5 hits. Baylor also had 1 hit, 4 plate appearances in the first ball game. And now the Blue Jays, with 2 outs, as the tie runs on. Kern works an inning and a third, and here's Lyle trying to nail it down. For Ed Farmer, who started, went the first 7 in the 3rd inning, gave up a 5 hits, 4 runs. Here's the pitch. Strike with a good slider. Baylor, a right-handed batter up there, and a tough man to strike out. There's a foul ball shot out of play to the right. Gomez is at first base running for Bob Robertson. So he's in as a pinch runner. Robertson does not run all that well. Gomez with speed, they got him in there. If they get the base hit, of course, they'll try to score him to tie the ball game. All right, Lyles up on Baylor, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on a fly ball to center field. That ought to be the game. Jorgensen comes on, waits and has it, and that is the ball game. Fly ball to center field. The Rangers shut him off with only one run on a couple of hits here in the inning. They leave two stranded, and that'll do it. Rangers winning it by a count of 7-5. And I'll be back with the final totals in just 60 seconds.
Chevy's nationwide celebration is on.
There's a Chevy celebration going on across the nation. It's an all-out Chevy jubilation. Chevy sensation. Come look, come try. See Chevy cars and trucks. Come trade and buy.
Chevy's having a nationwide celebration, America, just to welcome the first Chevy of the 80s, Citation, to Chevy's line of new generation cars. And as always, Chevy dealers have great Chevy values in all the Chevy cars and trucks that have made Chevrolet #1. And it's all just waiting for you, America. See your Chevy dealer and check out the 1980 Chevy Citation and all the other great Chevy values. It's a Chevy nationwide celebration, May 11th to Memorial Day. Come celebrate.
There's a Chevy celebration going on across the nation. It's an all-out Chevy jubilation. Chevy celebration. Chevy celebration.
Well, the Rangers draw splits. They erupted for 7 big runs in the 8th inning and win it by a count of 7-5 over Toronto here this afternoon. The Blue Jays won the first game 3-1. Totals on the contest: Texas 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 4 left on. For Toronto, 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 6 then left on. Winning pitcher was Ed Farmer, and Ed picks up his second win against no setbacks, going 7 in the 3rd inning. And Sparky Lyle, the second reliever, was in there for a third of an inning, got his 6th save of the year. The losing pitcher, Phil Huffman, now a record of 2-4, and Willis, Busky, and Moore also worked in this afternoon's activity. Rangers winning it 7-5. Game-winning run batted in was by Buddy Bell's double in the 8th inning that knocked in 2 runs. So the final score in the doubleheader this afternoon: Toronto Blue Jays winning the first one 3-1. The Rangers capturing the nightcap 7-5. That's the Rangers win 3 of 4 here in Toronto. That final score again: Texas 7, Toronto 5. Star of the game is next on the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
Rangers Baseball has been brought to you by Chevrolet, who invites you to catch the all-star lineup of Chevy cars and trucks at your neighborhood Chevy dealer. By Budweiser, the king of beers. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. By AC Delco. Go with the names you know. Thanks, AC. Thanks, Delco. And by Cook Paint, serving home and industry for over 60 years.
To get that friendly feeling, that come on neighbor, how you feeling?
Hello, I'm Mark Evans of Friendly Chevrolet. This Sunday, May the 13th, is Mother's Day, a day for honoring some of the most deserving people on earth. Mother's Day was first celebrated in Philadelphia in 1907. Since then, it's become an American tradition. This Mother's Day, honor your mother with respect and devotion. Remember her with a call or a visit. Speak to her of your love, for mothers are something special. From all of us at Friendly Chevrolet, to all mothers everywhere, thanks for just being you. Happy Mother's Day, and may you always have
Friendly Chevrolet, Lemon and Inwood.
Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to get an important package from here to Detroit by no later than 1100 hours tomorrow morning.
But it's already 5 o'clock.
If our Detroit office does not receive this package by 1100 hours tomorrow morning, this tape won't be the only thing that self-destructs.
But it's already 5 o'clock.
Every day in business, you're hit with an impossible mission, getting a small package somewhere in a big hurry. But it's not impossible with Emery Express, the new wing of the Air Force and Air Freight, with planes and people, trucks and procedures, all expressly designed to get your small package to where it's going by no later than 11 a.m. and often earlier.
Hello, Emery Express.
Yeah, good afternoon, Emery Express. Your mission, should you...
Call Emery and ask expressly for Emery Express, the small package service that delivers before the 11th hour.
It's Rangers wrap-up time, brought to you by the people in your town who bottle delicious, refreshing Coca-Cola. Coke adds life to baseball and all your favorite sports. And by your 5 Tarrant County Chevy dealers. See the world today in a Bruce Lowry, Jack Williams, Huderberg, Century, or Vandergriff Chevrolet.
Rangers come back to win the second game after dropping the opening encounter here this afternoon, and they won 7-5. In the opening encounter, Mark Lemongello defeated the Rangers 3-1. Alexander took the loss. Second ball game, Bill Huffman takes the loss as Texas won it 7-5. Winning pitcher Ed Farmer with a save going to Sparky Lyle, his 6th of the year. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Texas. 5-7-0 for Toronto. So the Rangers win 3 of 4, and now will be on their way to Minnesota. Start of the game will continue in just 60 seconds.
With everything on it, and I'll pass it on. The world needs a smile with everything on it. Pass it along, come on and pass it along. Give me a Coke when you smile, and I promise to pass it on. The world needs a break when it's tired and thirsty. Coke like a smile, helps it along when I'm traveling on. So give him the Coke and a smile on his way. You'll get it all back some sunny day. Coca-Cola has life and everybody wants a little Coke and a smile with everything on it. Pass it along. Coke has life. Coca-Cola has life.
Coach for the Rangers, the man that has won the respect of the ball players by his hard work and dedicated duties of being right on the ball all the time, and that's none other than Fred Koenig. And Fred, a lot of people that sit in the stands don't realize the importance of that guy at first base, but a lot of things pop up during the course of a game.
Well, there's some communication that goes on between the players, the manager, and third base coach, with the first base coach. And Pat gives us pretty good freedom as to how we communicate with one another, and he likes things that way, and he lets us do that.
You got a man on first base, and he's trying to watch what's happening with the coach at third base. He may miss that sign, so you've got a system that you can also flash that sign to the guy.
Well, we use a system that that gives you a backup safety valve system that we use with myself. I use 1, 2, 3, and 4 on a finger. It's no big secret. If they're in doubt, we have a system with the numbers that we give them the sign. It's just been flashed from the third base coach.
But that is one of the real important things, because you miss a sign, the runner does, or the batter, and you've got problems.
Well, the manager has a definite idea the action of the baseball game and the trend of the game is going. And when you miss a sign, you really upset your whole program for that particular time at bat or that number of outs. So, it really throws you out of balance and out of kilter is what happens to you, and you have to really restart and start all over again. So, yeah, signs are important in the game, though.
And they can be a situation develop where they can take you right out of what could have been a big inning.
Well, I think we've had several times this year where we've missed some hit-and-run signs, and, we're human, too. We're going to miss some signs, and we've had the same thing come up where we've hit into double plays and things, whereas we would have continued our hitting. Now, at this time in place, we're out there in a pennant contending position. We think we're going to win it, and we're not going to be able to afford ourselves the luxury of, just saying we're going to play on a day-by-day, ball game basis. We have to go out and make things happen. Well, that's part of our making things happen, is being exact with what we do and executing perfectly.
Fine, we'll continue visiting with Fred Koenig in just 60 seconds.
Your Tarrant County Chevy dealers announce a nationwide celebration.
There's a Chevy celebration going on across the nation. It's an all-out Chevy jubilation.
See Chevy's new citation.
Come look, come try.
See Chevy cars and trucks.
Come trade and buy.
Right now, your Tarrant County Chevy dealers are having an all-out Chevy jubilation, and each dealer is giving away a $500 United States savings bond free. For your chance to win one of these $500 bonds, come by any Tarrant County Chevy dealer and register. While you're here, check out the values on all the Chevy cars and trucks that have made Chevy #1. Don't forget to register for your chance to win a $500 savings bond only at your Tarrant County Chevy dealers. Udaberg Chevrolet, Bruce Lowry Chevrolet, Vandergrift Chevrolet, Century Chevrolet, and Jack Williams Chevrolet.
There's a Chevy celebration going on across the nation. It's an all-out Chevy jubilation. Chevy celebration. Chevy celebration.
Fred, another thing, when a guy gets a base hit, and it may be one of the situations where the ball looks like it could go between the outfielders, and that runner sometime coming down there as fast as he can will lose sight of the baseball. Now, that's the first base coach's job, to find out exactly where and whether to put the brakes on him or let him go.
Yeah, you'll encourage him to make a wide turn at times, and then to pick up the ball, particularly when the ball's in the left field area for the right-hand hitter when it's on down the lines. Really, that is your responsibility to take him around and going on into second. Part of when he gets there, so on and so forth, you've got to remind him the number of outs. And if you play baseball by the scoreboard, and no matter how we play, what position we're in, the number of outs dictates how we play. And all these things is what you're trying to convey to the guy when he gets there.
Another important thing, and I guess first base coaches in the league, sooner or later, will know the moves of the pitchers. When you're watching every day, you get to see more moves than anybody, and your help in hollering at a runner to get back or what is of great importance.
Yeah, you'll pick up the move sometime sooner than the base runner, and naturally you're going to call him back, and it's your job to know everyone's move is exactly right. Along with that, you got to know the strength of everyone's arm in the league too. I mean, those are all the things that go with having a job.
Whether this catcher can throw well, and whether he gets rid of it, and the speed of the guy you got there to coach down to second.
That's exactly right.
Fred, let me ask you the overall feeling of this ball club.
Well, I think the overall feeling of our club is that come October 15th, we're going to win the World Series, and I think that's prevailed right from spring training. And even though we've had a few bad things that occur to us, I don't think it's dampened their spirits. They're a very compatible club and very positive in their approach to our game.
Fred Koenig, thank you so much, and I know your attitude is always that way, and I know the guys respect you for it. And now again, let's switch back to John. Well, John's not here, so we'll say for being our guest, we want to present Fred with a gift certificate good for a McGregor Drizzler golf jacket. It's polycotton with lapel finish for better stain and weather resistance. McGregor, first name in sportswear. That's the star of the game. Stay tuned now for the Rangers scorecard next on the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
There's nothing like a Grand Slam homer, and that's what you'll find right now at Graff Chevrolet in Grand Prairie. It's their Grand Slam Red Tag sale with sale prices on everything. Chevettes, Monzas, Monte Carlo, station wagons, pickups, and the slick new Chevy Citation. Red Tag sale prices that makes you the winner. Red Tag sale prices as hot as a line drive, but you can handle it, so drive on into Graff Chevrolet, 1405 East Main in Grand Prairie, and put the tag on your choice in their Red Tag sale.
Raise your hood for Emily, 'cause it's better than it has to be. And that's something to think about when you're driving down that road, counting on your motor oil more than you'll ever know. You need Emily. Emily. Go on, raise your hood for Emily, 'cause it's better than it has to be. Emily. 1903. Emily.
First of all, let's take a look at the action in the National League. Cincinnati has won over Pittsburgh this afternoon by a score of 7-3, 7 runs, 14 hits, an error. Pittsburgh 3-9-3. Winning pitchers Lacasse's 4-0. Home runs for Cincinnati. Blair is first in the 6th inning with one on, and Grayson had his 5th in the 8th inning with nobody on. And Delaria takes the loss. He's 2-2, and Garner hit his 2nd home in the 5th with nobody on. Let's pause right now before we continue with the scoreboard for station identification on this, the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
WBAP 820, Fort Worth, Dallas. When the drains don't work, Roto-Rooter does. Call Roto-Rooter for help from the pros.
St. Louis won this afternoon over Atlanta, 7-3. For the Cardinals, 7-11-0. The Braves, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Negro takes the loss. He's 3-6. Murphy hit his 10th homer in the 9th inning for the Braves with one on. Vukovic is the winning pitcher. He's 4-2. 7-3 the final. The Cardinals winning over the Braves. Houston got a shutout this afternoon from the other Negro brother as they defeated Chicago's Cubs by a count of 3-0. 3-4-1 for the Astros. 0-5-1 for Chicago. Frucco was the losing pitcher. In other action, Los Angeles won again today, and they won over Montreal by a count of 8-2. 8 runs, 13 hits, no errors. 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for Montreal. Grimsley the loser, and the winning pitcher, well, let's see. Sutcliffe was the winning pitcher, and Royce got the save. Ferguson hit his 5th homer in the 1st with nobody on, and Lopes hit his 4th in the 4th with one on. That final again, Los Angeles 8-2 over Montreal. And a ball game that has gone through 9 innings and is tied at 4 each. The New York Mets 4 and the San Diego Padres 4. They're now in extra innings. Jones started for San Diego, and Shirley is now pitching. Came on the 9th inning. Scott started for New York. Murphy is on in the 5th inning. Montanez had a home run. He's 2nd in the 4th with one on for the Mets. They're in extra innings, tied at 4. Now the final, Philadelphia wins over San Francisco this afternoon, 12-3. For the Phils, 12-15-1. For the Giants, 3-9-2. Ruthven started, and Reed came on, and he got the win. He's 4-1. And Vida Blue started, takes the loss. He's 6-3. Final score in that San Diego-New York game, the San Diego Padres came up with a run in the 10th inning and win 5-4. San Diego 5 and New York 4. That's the final. We'll take a look at the American League when the Ranger scorecard continues in just 60 seconds.
Hey, here's to the bus driver who gets us there, rain or shine.
This one's for you. You're working hard all day just like you always do.
I'm a bus driver. I used to work in a factory, and I just wanted to be outside. Well, I like to travel.
You can get and all the people be happy. Yeah, I feel responsible when I was driving. Once you pull off this dock with a load of people, it's your ball game. This is the type of job that you want. You got to accept the responsibility to go along with it.
This one's for you.
Hey, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
In the American League this afternoon, Boston wins over Oakland by a count of 8-2. And the winning pitcher is Rainey for Boston. Losing pitcher is Norris. Home run Scott for Boston and Hudson for Boston. Murphy hit his 2nd for Oakland. 8-2 the final score there. California rallied for 7 runs in the 9th inning, but still fell short. New York wins it 12-10. Winning pitcher was Beatty, and the losing pitcher was Knapp. Aikens, a home run for California. Nettles, a home run for New York. Postponed ball game this afternoon, Seattle at Baltimore. Other action, Detroit wins over Milwaukee 6-2. Haas the losing pitchers 2-3. Morris picks up the win with a save from Billingham. Thompson had a home run, as did Rusty Staub and Steve Kemp. 6-2 the final, Detroit winning. Kansas City wins over Chicago 14-5, slugfest there. And the winning pitcher was Rodriguez. He started the ball game and won it. And the losing pitcher was Wortham. He's now 4-3. Washington had a home run. Watson had a home run, as well as Wilson for Kansas City, as the Royals win it 14-5. Cleveland stopped Minnesota this afternoon 3-2. Garland the winner. He's 1-4, save for Cruz. Gold took the loss. He's 4-4. Landreau had a home run for Minnesota as they lose 3-2. Here in Toronto this afternoon, the Rangers got a split. They win 3 out of 4, however, in the series. They lost the first game 3-1 to the Toronto Blue Jays. They rallied after trailing, came back to win the nightcap 7-5. So that's the way it goes in the National and American Leagues this afternoon. And now this is Bill Merrill speaking for John Miller and Jim Birdsong, inviting you to join us again tomorrow at 7:15 for the Rangers and the Twins on the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
Rangers Wrap-Up has been brought to you by your Coca-Cola bottler, who reminds you that ice-cold Coca-Cola adds life to food and fun and everything that makes your living nice. And by your 5 Tarrant County Chevrolet dealers. See the world today in a Bruce Lowry, Jack Williams, Hudeberg, Century, or Vandergrift Chevrolet. Overhead Door Corporation.
Yeah, they need a name for their automatic garage door opener system.
How about the automatic garage door opener system?
No, it's got to be easy.
It's short,
simple,
direct.
Yeah, it's got to fall trippingly off the tongue.
That too. How about Open Sesame?
Open Sesame, sure. How about the Bionic Button?
The Bionic. Upsy Daisy?
Upsy Daisy, Upsy Daisy.
Well, what does the thing do?
Well, it opens the garage door for you automatically. Say if it's raining or you got an armload of stuff, you just touch a button.
How about touch a button?
You touch a button, the door goes up.
How about door goes up?
You touch a button, the door goes down.
How about touch and go?
Touch and go.
Yeah, touch and go.
Touch and go.
Yeah,
touch and go. Say, the Overhead Door Corporation presents Touch and Go, the automatic garage door opener system. Touch and go.
Touch and go.
Touch and go.
I like it. Sure. The Touch and Go automatic garage door opener system from the Overhead Door Corporation. Ask about the exclusive time-lock dual-channel control providing maximum security for your garage. Just touch and go.
For your Touch and Go opener system with the exclusive time-lock radio control, contact the Overhead Door Company of Texarkana or the Overhead Door Company of Tyler, listed under O in the white pages. A hamburger is just a hamburger, right? If you said right, you never tasted a Golf burger from Golf's 8 locations in the Metroplex. Golf's hamburgers have quality you can taste, because Golf burgers are cooked over real charcoal. Not gas jets or anything else, real charcoal. Their lean hamburger is ground fresh daily. On the way to or from the game is a great time for a Golf burger. It's quality you can taste anytime.